Hey guys, it's Milka. Welcome back to my channel, NutAeum. I feel like I said that weird. NutAeum. Yeah, that flows a little bit more easily. I kind of separated the words there. Hey guys. Hello. 'Tis I'm back. I know that I posted last week's video kind of late. But I did it. I literally filmed it for you guys the day before it needed to go up, and then just stuff ended up happening, like exporting, whatever. It was a whole thing, but I committed, and I was also away at the moment. I was kind of traveling, so I didn't have my laptop charged. It was a whole thing. But I got it up as soon as I could for you guys, so I'm glad that it ended up working out. But yes, you may have noticed the title of this video, and I don't know why, but I guess we're gonna find out why. This is just kind of what the guides were like, hey, let's do this. Because I was, scratching my head going, what am I supposed to do? What should the reading be for this week? So we're gonna have two main questions that are going to be answered today, which are going to be, why is blank happening? And also touching on why you feel the way that you feel. And any other kind of things that could end up coming through. I'm sort of doing this like very improv-y, so I'm not entirely sure how the structure is gonna go. We're just gonna go where God takes us, right? As the saying goes, what is it, like Jesus take the wheel? Yeah, basically like that, right? All right, we've got 4 groups to choose from today, you guys, as always. But before we begin, it is time for my little shameless self-plug. For those of you who are new to my channel or who are returning, I wanted to let you guys know that I do private personal readings, okay, as well as custom crystal bracelets. These are just a couple of examples of some of the ones that I do. I have more examples, just some more examples. I've got a bunch of different things, but on my website too, if you go on the link in the description box, there's my website, and there's a category that says bracelets. That's where you can get the examples. I also do custom affirmation songs, which you can also see, like there's a playlist on this channel with some of the affirmation songs that I've, have on YouTube, and I'll be coming out with more or releasing more onto YouTube as well. So I do custom affirmation songs for clients as well, for those of you who are interested. If you are curious or interested in these services, you can reach out to me either through the email in my description box or through the contacts page on my website, which again is also in the description box. Also, I'm on Instagram, so for any of you guys who are curious about things that I may post, because truly on that Instagram page the content is mainly geared towards you guys, or giving you updates in regards to the readings, the videos, filming, but also just kind of advice or guidance or whatever comes through for you guys. So yes, that is that. Also in the description box below, handle NutAeum. And yeah, without further ado, let us begin your reading, or the group selection, I should say. So I was debating whether or not to say the names of the stones, because these are 4 different stones, but I think I will. Okay. Oh, also, by the way, you guys, actually, before we begin, I almost forgot. I have a song that I posted on my music channel, Milka38, also in the description box below. That was a channeled song from Divine, and for those of you who are curious, I'm going to include a little snippet here. Don't shrink in the shadows. It'll be alright. Reach your hand out to me. I'll be your guide. Promise you there'll come a day For now, just hold on to me. I'll be your guide. And yeah, you guys, that was a channeled song. So for those of you who are interested in hearing the rest of it, it was a message that I was receiving that was turned into a song. You can click on the link in the description. It is also linked there, okay? And also timestamps, cards that I use, all going to be in the description box below as well. All right, now let's get into the group selections. So group number 1, your stone is turquoise. Okay. Group number 2, your stone is sunstone. Okay. And then group number 3, we have agate. Look how beautiful this one is. It is so lovely. Group number 4, your stone is onyx. Okay. I'm gonna give you guys a moment to choose your piles or your groups. You can have more than one, of course. And I'll see you guys at your reading. Hey group 1, this is your group if you chose the turquoise card. I'm gonna read, oh, I have a little feather in my finger. I'm gonna read, oh, that's so interesting that I said that. I'll tell you why. I'm gonna read the back of your card in a moment, you guys, but it's interesting that, oh, let me ring the singing bowl first. There we go. But it's interesting because while I was shuffling your cards towards the end, I got a bit of a headache on the right side, and for whatever reason, when I saw one of the bottom cards, like stay the course, right? You are moving in the right direction. But I saw this and it made me think of like negative energies a little bit. So without the you are moving in the right direction, and then even before I read what the card was, like just something about that card made me think of slightly more negative or darker energies or shadowy aspects of things. And when I shuffled the final deck, we got Saturn on the bottom as I was thinking that, which kind of confirmed it for me. And I went to the bathroom before I started doing your reading because, you know, sometimes these be going long and your girl needed to use the toilet. But when I went to the bathroom, I thought about the concept again of like what I was just mentioning, right? Where it kind of felt a little weird, like a little bit of a shadowy aspect. And my head started hurting again. I didn't realize the headache went away until it started hurting again. So I do think there is a little bit... We're going to get into it. Nothing for you guys to be afraid of, like, at all, okay? It's not, y'all know I'm not here trying to scare you, okay? I'm not for that. That's not the kind of reader that I am. And I don't believe that it's something that we actually have to be afraid of anyway, what I'm going to be talking about. But let's get into your cards first. We may have to split it into tarot-y majority and then the final oracle cards afterwards. We'll see. But you guys chose turquoise. That is so funny. That is so funny. Okay, it says peace and tranquility and patience. I just think it's funny because it's peace, right? And I was just mentioning this kind of like shadowy aspect. And while I was thinking about it, BT dubs, while I was in the bathroom, something that I also thought about was shadow work for you guys, and any fears that you have that are playing into whatever we're going to be talking about now. It's just like a spotlight on where the shadow work is going to be leading you, on what to address, okay? There was something else. Let me see if I can get it. Give me 1 second. Yes. Okay. With stay the course, another thing that like kind of sprung to me was distraction, right? Because sometimes negative energy or shadowy things can actually lead us towards distraction from what we're meant to be going towards or focusing on, all this stuff, okay? And again, we're going to touch on it more when we see like what cards you guys ended up getting. But yeah. Okay. Excuse me. It says, tranquil and calm. Turquoise reminds you that there are gifts in the everyday and each moment in your life matters. Small things add up and become big things over time. Have patience for all your labors of love, including yourself. Regarded as a bridge between heaven and earth, turquoise is a sacred stone in many Native American traditions. Also, BT dubs. It doesn't say it here, but in ancient Egypt, it was also, I believe, associated with the goddess Hathor or Heteru, I believe. Okay, but it was a sacred stone there too. And used as a source of healing and connection. Linked to the heavens within yourself, the parts that bring you joy, and remind you of your own inner magic. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Pisces, Jupiter, Venus, Neptune. Okay. Yes. All right. So we're going to set that to the side here. Something also that I felt with this turquoise card is that you guys are in the healing process. Okay. And I think because you are in the healing process, or you guys maybe have started going into healing, like the shadow work stuff is coming up. So I think for some of you, the message will be, which honestly, I think you guys probably already know it, but anything that comes up that's trying to distract you or that makes you feel a little lazy or whatever it may be, that's just your ego trying to protect itself, okay? So keep going the course, right? Okay, but let's see what you guys got. So we have, and the question, gotta remind myself, was why is blank happening and why are you feeling this way? So we've got the 8 of Wands. I can already tell this is going to be a lot, so I'll just place it as far as I can. Okay, we have the Chariot. The Star. Wow, you know what's also funny? You guys made me think of group 1 in my last reading, which was like, what are you not seeing, or something like that. You guys made me think of group 1, so I'm curious to see if you guys chose this group too. And again, BT dubs, like there's nothing for you to be scared about when I was mentioning the darker stuff, right? Because darker energies in general are things like fear, anger, frustration, right? Things that are created from repression. So it's not so black and white, you know, when people hear the term light or dark, it's not, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, recently I was having a conversation. We have the the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups too. Oh my goodness, what the heck? You guys also have the Knight of Swords. That's funny. But what I was going to mention was recently I was having a conversation with a sibling of a friend, and something that she told me, because she's she teaches Mandarin. So something that she told me was, because I asked her, you know, how to properly pronounce yin and yang, and I can do it if she says it and I repeat it back, but I'm not going to be doing that on this channel. But when she translated to me, it was like something about like the light or the sun and the shadow of the sun or something, or, you know, or the shadow that gets cast, something along those lines. So it wasn't actually dark, it was shadow, which I thought was interesting, right? So yeah, I think the definition of what you guys consider dark could be changing too, because everything has levels and tiers and layers, and something actually, sorry I'm like not revealing the cards yet, you guys, but I feel like you could be okay with hearing this message because it is still part of the reading. But it's making me think of a dream that I had kind of recently too, which, by the way, if you guys are group 1 from the previous reading, I feel like you guys have wild or kind of crazy dreams or very interesting dreams. Your dreams could be giving you hints or clues or into your healing, you know, what it is that you're trying to kind of overcome. It's just about, in regards to interpreting it, you know, if you don't feel so confident doing that, just know that you can. I feel like you guys are going to be good at it. You just need to calm yourself a little bit, kind of maybe connect with your guides, call on your higher self, just breathe, do a meditation. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a guided one. It's really just about calming your mind, right? Grounding. I find grounding meditations can be, or like grounding techniques can help you come back into body so that you can, basically to me, it's kind of the same as meditation, to be completely honest with you. So that you can receive, right? But yeah, so I think when you do that, like maybe write down the dream and then once in a while come back to it, and then you'll see like, oh, what does this mean? What does this mean to me? What does this symbol mean to me? You know, like what does a bug mean to me? What does this specific bug mean to me? Okay, it means fear. So that means that, oh my goodness, I just want to share all my dreams with you guys. I actually had one too, right? So this is a bit personal, but I will share it. There's two dreams I'm going to be giving a little insight into, but this one is the one to help you guys determine meanings. Okay. I was having, a dream where, I guess I'll keep revealing. So we've got Seven of Swords too. And the Knight of Pentacles again. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I was having a dream where Eight of Cups. I was in the bathroom and I was looking at myself in the mirror. Oh God, it's just giving me shivers thinking about it. And I saw a roach, a big one. I didn't feel it in the dream, thank God, but I saw it in the mirror on my back climbing up. And I had my glasses on, but for whatever reason, my vision was blurry. Like I wasn't seeing it fully or clearly. And like I was like screaming and it was climbing up my back and it went on top of my head, you know, and I like flung it off and I kept trying to kill it. But it's like whenever I would hit where it was exactly, it's like it's like, you know, when you close one eye and then you open the other and then you switch, things are like further away or closer. But because you have both eyes, you can see how far actually things are. So it was as if it was like that, as if I had one eye closed or something, like the vision was distorted. So I would hit and it looked like I was hitting it on top of it, you know, like I was hitting it, but I was always missing, you know, because it apparently was a little above or whatever to the side. And it was quite the dream, I will tell you. And then there was more stuff going on, and then I woke up, you know, actually woke up, and I was like, oh my goodness, I need to focus on something else. And I fell asleep again and had the same kind of concept, except it wasn't on me, it was just around. And I like told my grandmother in the dream about the dream that I had previously before I had actually woken up in real life. And then there was one of them as well in the kitchen running around, you know, and we were trying to kill it. And again, same concept. And all this to say, sorry, you guys, you can fast forward if you're not interested to when all the cards are laid out, but I just feel like this could be helpful to some people. For me, those particular bugs, okay, represent fear. For me personally, because it's a personal thing, okay, but they represent fear for me. And something that I thought was interesting was the fact that anytime that I was trying to kill it, I couldn't see it clearly. It was blurring my vision. Anytime I thought I was getting it, all it was doing was keeping me in that afraid state trying to kill it, right? Wherever it was. And I realized when it was climbing up my back, because the back represents your past, onto my head, right? My crown chakra. Oh God. I'm okay. It was talking about the fears of my past clouding my vision, right? Because I was fine until I was trying to kill it, and I'm trying whatever, all of the stuff, and my vision kept being blurry and I couldn't see even though I had my glasses on. But there was another dream that happened. All of this was happening in one night. There was another dream that happened afterwards, after all of this, where like I took off these weird plastic contact lenses and the glasses, and basically that dream, there was some other stuff, but it was about seeing clearly, you know, and vulnerability and authenticity. And it was talking about, instead of letting the fears of the past come up and cloud your judgment, as I say that, an eyelash came off, but instead of letting those fears cloud your judgment, right, focus on being in the present and approaching from who you are now, because you are not the person of the past. You are not ruled by those things anymore. You know, you are out of that, whatever, it's a whole thing. But anyway, the original thing I was going to tell you about another dream that I had, that was just to give you an example of how you can try to identify what your subconscious is telling you. But in that other dream, there was this concept of light and dark. And it was two brothers, right? And one of them was light and the other one was shadow. He was a shadow. And there was an ultimate evil as well that came through in this dream too. And though the light and shadow brothers seemed, they were like opposites, you know, kind of like what I was telling you about what that person told me, like the sun and the shadow. And basically when this even darker, or like, because the shadow aspect was not evil, it was just more like chaos. Then true evil, the true evil of darkness came through in the dream too. And it was very, oh, I just got chills. And it was very eye-opening because it was revealing how there, like that, what I told you guys earlier, right? There are layers, there are tiers of shadow or dark, right? Not all of them are bad, right? I think I mentioned this once before. The light gives us, it illuminates, it gives us knowledge, it gives us wisdom. It's masculine energy, right? It's warm, it brings life. But if we only have the light can feel cold too. It can be too much of an because it's the masculine, it's too what is the word? Oh, that's so funny. It says authority here. But authoritarian, is that it? You know, it can be too harsh, it could be dehydrating, dry, right? It can be cold. It can be critical, right? Analytical and hypercritical with high expectations, all of that stuff. And the dark, though people associate it with more darker things, the dark can also be soothing. It can be calming. It can be relaxing. It can be a place where you can go for rest, for healing. Like a cool drink of water on a very hot day. It's feminine, right? There is nurturing in that too. It's kind of like saying you don't have to keep pushing forward. You can stay still for a moment. Whereas the light would be like, keep moving forward, you know? Which is a good thing, but then again, too much. So again, there are layers, there are levels. All that to say, let's get back into your cards. We've got the Two of Wands. Okay. The Three of Wands. Just gonna move these all up a little bit. The Child of Swords, which is actually the equivalent of the Page of Swords. So you guys have a lot of court cards. You have Temperance, the Four of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and oh my goodness, this is kind of funny. We have Libra, light aspect of Libra, right? And then we have the shadow or dark aspect of Capricorn. So it's funny because we talked about Saturn, we talked about like the darker energies. Capricorn is the energy, I'm gonna put these aside for later, okay? We'll reveal these afterwards. Capricorn is the energy for the Devil card in tarot, okay? Again, doesn't always have to be like evil or stuff, but I'm thinking here, since we have the shadow aspect of Capricorn, which I think is funny, it's playing into this concept of fears again, okay? But give me a moment to see, you know, why and why blank is happening and why you guys are feeling the way that you are. Also, if I keep repeating that during the reading, it's not necessarily for you guys, though if it is, that's great, but it's also for me to remember, okay? One sec. Okay. why is this happening? Okay, remember how I mentioned turquoise is the stone of the goddess Hathor? I don't think that was an accident or just perchance that I mentioned a deity, right? A being, like a goddess or a god or whatever. Because we have the star card here. And I think what's coming through, first it's going to be answering, why is this happening? Okay? And the why that I'm getting here is you are going to be living up to your potential. All right, you guys? Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that, guys. I had to check on something. But yeah, I feel like the why is blank happening, right? Whatever blank is for you, is because you guys are supposed to be going and living up to your potential. And God and the universe are trying to get you there. They're trying to show you that you are God and God is you. You are divine and divine is you. You know, you are made up of this fabric that weaves everything in existence and non-existence, right? Anything that we can fathom and can't fathom, we are all made of that same thing, which also means that we are that thing. We are that thing experiencing itself. And I think you guys have turned to exterior validation, right? That's okay. That's normal, right? We all do that. But the universe and God are trying to be like, you don't need to get it from outside of yourself, because you are everything that ever was and ever will be. You are all of existence itself, you know? So I feel like this is really a part of it is talking about, I just got the word vulnerability, right? Which I think is interesting too. But it's really talking about you guys coming into your power. So why is this happening? Why are these things currently going on in your life? Like, why is it happening now? Why did it take as long as it did? It took as long as it did because you guys had to come to the point where you realize you're not going to let yourself be an obstacle for you anymore. And it's not even you, right? You're not going to let your trauma, your hurt, your pain, or the words of your parents or your ancestors, right? The beliefs that they've had for who knows how long. You're not going to let that control your life. Let me see what else I'm getting. And some things are going to feel tricky. I feel like some things are going to feel like you're completely out in the cold or out in the blue. And it's like you're trying to get answers. You're like, come on, give me some hints, give me some clues. And really, I feel like I used this example in the last reading too. It's like, it's not that you're alone. It's not that you're out in the cold. It's just that... And you know, the universe is not trying to trick you or anything along those lines. It's more so, what was the example? It was if you were riding a bike, right? And like your guides and your team all had their hand on the back of the bike, watching over you and like making sure you don't fall. But you're pedaling, you know? The goal is not for you to ride a bike with somebody pushing you the whole time, because then you're not really riding the bike, right? It's about showing you that you can ride the bike. So at some point, they let go. Doesn't mean that they're not there. They're still hovering over you, making sure that you're going to be okay, you know, that they can take care of you. It's just this illusion of them not being there because they want to show you, like, you can ride this bike. All of this practice was not for naught, you know? So I feel like that's kind of what's going on for you guys. That's the core reason as to why things are happening this way. It's more so, it's a journey of empowerment for you guys. And it's almost like the universe and God are like, are you ready to receive the gifts and blessings that you've been asking for all of this time? For years now, since you were young, you've been wanting something. We want to give it to you, but you have to show us that you are ready, because we're not going to place it into your hand. We're going to hold out a tray with this thing on it, but are you going to reach out and grab it? because the tray is here. The tray is already out. The thing is on it, right? And now they're saying this whole journey, while you're going through this, is not only training yourself, but actually going and grabbing the thing. And I feel like this round is kind of like practice, and that you're going to get a second wave of the same thing, but you're going to be, because you're going through this empowerment thing, you're going to be even more empowered, and like you're going to get even more of a better result. It's like, this is just a test run a little bit. Okay. And it's not going to feel as scary or as hard or difficult or anything like that the next time around where you're trying to integrate something new again, because you did it, you know, you rode the bike on your own. And so you're going to get back on a bike again and do it again. Let me see what else I'm getting here. So it's interesting that we talked about fears, right? Because this whole journey of empowerment, part of a journey of empowerment is overcoming your fears, right? Like I mentioned earlier, it's about saying, you are no longer in charge of my life. You cannot control my actions. You have no right to do that. I let you go. You no longer serve me anymore. Thank you. Right? I feel like maybe an affirmation that you guys can incorporate could be something along, just because we mentioned it earlier, right? Along the lines of, I am God and God is me. And then repeat it the other way around. God is me and I am God. And maybe even visualize, right? Like the source of all creation. Again, not necessarily a man in the sky, however you see divine, right? And then see your body and it filling your body. And then see your body filled with that star stuff or whatever. And then see it like coming out of you into all of everything in existence, right? To create, and maybe do that every day as a technique to realize you are that being, you are that essence, because you guys are, right? We all are. That's just, we kind of forget when we get stuck in this 3D reality with all of this material world stuff that goes on and things that they try to project onto people to keep people from getting into this higher conscious state, right? You guys are not a pawn in this kind of a materialistic media projection. Like, that's not you guys, not anymore. You know, maybe some of you were, and I think everyone kind of starts out that way for the most part, most people, right? Because we all watch TV, we all listen to the music on the radio, all of this stuff. There's a point where you kind of break out of that pattern, and that's where you guys are at. You're coming out of that pattern. Let me see what else I'm getting as to why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. Yeah, you see, it's interesting with temperance. We've got this balance between fire and water, right? Between light and dark, between warm and cool. Because when we talk about yin yang, right? The white part is supposed to be light. It is fire. It's like the sun. And the dark part is cool, kind of like water. So this is, the white is dry, the dark is wet. That's kind of part of the thing that goes along with it. So remember we talked about like those fears and like the shadow aspects. And I feel like you guys are still in this process of healing. Which, I mean, you already knew that, but you guys are still in this process of bringing into balance, right? The light and shadow, where it doesn't affect you. Something that I say to my clients often, right? Well, I feel like I've been saying it more frequently, and then I actually saw something on Instagram, which I thought was funny because it wasn't exactly how I say it, but it's kind of a similar message. And it is that when you are trying to help a child that is hurt, right? We're talking about an inner child kind of a thing, right? A wounded child that feels that they're not good enough, and they went and they secluded themselves in a dark cave. And you want to bring them out into the light, right? And you're standing on the side of the light. You don't go into that cave and force that child out. You don't say, come into the light, you're going to feel better, you're going to feel more lovable, you're going to feel all this and that. Because even though that child may have wanted those things, that hurt child is thinking that they're unworthy. And so you saying even anything like you're going to feel more loved, you're going to this, you're going to that, maybe not that particular, but you know, something along those lines, like this will be good for you, you'll feel better here, this is where you're going to get the love, come into the light so you can get the love, right? You're giving that child conditions. And you're also telling them that them being exactly who they are right now is not enough. Or that is the problem, right? It's like, don't you want to be happy? Come out here. It's like, well, and because remember, when you can't really reason with emotions or with a child who is having like an emotional tantrum. They don't see things logically. The same goes for the inner child. They're not going to necessarily see things logically. It's not going to stop. Logic is not going to stop them from feeling how they feel. Right? So if you tell somebody who feels abandoned, come here so you can be loved, you know, like step into the light so we can see you and we can give you love or whatever. It's like you're giving them a condition to get that love still, you know, because I feel like you guys have gotten better with your wording and how you talk to yourself, but I still feel like there's kind of a little bit of a, it's not an obstacle or barrier. Oh, I just smelled a candle being blown out. Interesting. Like the smell of like after you blow out a candle, you know, that like smoky smell. That smelly smell, that smells smelly. From SpongeBob, that was, for those of you who don't know. But yes, so the way that you get that child to come out, right, is by saying, you can stay in there if you want, you know, don't go in to try to take them out. If you want this child to heal, it's not about forcing them into healing, right? It's about letting them come to this place on their own. So you stand outside of that cave in the light and you go, I just wanted to let you know, I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to take you out. I'm not trying to do anything different. I just want you to know that I love you. And if you ever need me, I'm here for you. If you ever want to talk, you know, you don't have to come out into the light to talk. We can just talk. And if you say that every day, like you just come back to that, or you don't even leave, you just stand by that cave and every day you go, hey, are you okay in there? I just wanted to let you know I love you, okay? And that's it. At some point, that child may start getting a little curious and it may start inching towards the light, right? Because it's starting to feel safe. There's no condition. There's no agenda. There's no trickery. There's no, once they come out, I'm going to grab them and then pull them into the light and then they'll finally be in the light, you know? There's no ulterior motive. It's just to say, I love you. And then that child will slowly inch into the light because they feel like they can trust you, right? And they're curious. And even if you see them peek their head out, right? At some point, like they got so close to the exit, they peek their head out, but they're still staying in the cave. That's okay. You still give them that same kind of answer. And then once they start coming out a little bit more and a little bit more, you can be like, oh, I can see you now. You're so beautiful. Again, I love you. Or you don't even have to say even with the beautiful, it's not about physical appearance, right? And that's to be made clear too. It's not something that you can change. It's just exactly who you are is beautiful and I love you. And you get to the point where you can embrace that child, right? I kind of lost the point as to why I started bringing this up, but that child has now become healed because now it is not only in the light, but it is able to receive love. Because you embraced that child and it accepted it, it allowed it, because now it trusts you. Right? So I know we were talking about balance and that's kind of how it started. And I mentioned you guys were already on a healing journey. But your fears, right? The shadow aspects. I kind of feel like that's the approach that we're going for here too. It's not something to shame. It's not something to get upset about at yourself or the reason that you're feeling a certain way or whatever. Instead of going like, oh, I shouldn't be saying those things. Oh, that's not nice or whatever, right? Instead of correcting yourself in your own mind, where it should be a place of safety for you to express yourself, ask yourself, well, you know what? Why am I feeling this way? You know, like why do you feel this way? Why was this I'm just curious, like, why is this your response? You know, again, without judgment. And then see where the hurt is and see where you need more love. Okay? Because it feels like, it's almost like you guys are trying to fight the shadows by saying, you're not welcome here, get out, leave, right? You're banished, whatever. When to really overcome the shadows, it's about saying, or like being that light by saying, you know what? I can still love you. Even if you hurt me for whatever reason, I can still love you. Okay? And I'm not saying to be doing this to like everybody, you know, somebody who's trying to hurt you, whatever. I'm talking about yourself, okay? Like a journey of inner healing. So, because even with this Four of Swords, there's this sense of serenity. And I feel like you guys can kind of feel really good at times and just feel like super, like as if you're on a high. And then at some point something comes in and you're just like trying to not look at it, you know, something that's not as pleasant. So you're trying not to give it attention. But I think in order for you guys to overcome it, you have to give it attention. Keep giving it attention until you truly understand where it's coming from, so that you can not change it, but give it that love, right? Let's see what else I'm getting here before we go to the other cards. And a big part of why you guys are experiencing this and why you're feeling the way that you're feeling is because, like I mentioned, I think at the very beginning, you guys are evolving, okay? It's just a part of evolution. I mean, look at this. It's literally, it's so funny too, because the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, the Knight of the material world, the physical world, and your emotions are moving forward. Right? You even have the Chariot and the Eight of Wands. These are all motion cards. They're moving forward, right? The Eight of Cups, literally walking away from things that no longer serve, leaving behind baggage. Knight of Pentacles again. The only ones that you have running in the opposite direction. Well, the star doesn't count because the star is not running, but it's just kind of existing. You know, and it's pouring in both areas. But the only place that you have that is with the swords. The Knight of Swords, your mind, right? Going the other way. The Seven of Swords, again, swords are the mind. Analytical, rational thought, practicality, right? Going the other way. So this is where I'm seeing like that fear aspect coming in, or like the past talk or something, whatever it was coming in, right? And it's almost like it's a little bit betraying you, because it's not, it's almost like it's kind of lying to you. It's an illusion, because you are not in that place anymore. You guys have moved so much further along, but it keeps trying to tell you that you're stuck in that place. And that's where the shadow work comes in, okay? Because you have the shadow aspect of Capricorn here. Libra is about that balance. We already talked about Temperance, and you guys are incredible. You guys are so kind and so sweet and so full of light and love and joy, and like you're brimming with this beautiful energy, okay? And people love being around you, but it's this insecurity that's kind of holding you guys back, right? It's almost like people can see you and they think you're funky and spunky and cool and fun and like so kind and loving, you know, and you could be so wise. Like they see all these great things within you because they're seeing your true potential, and probably even things that they would like to see within you, right? Because we have this goddess card, regardless of gender. It's like this higher status, higher way of perceiving people, okay? But what they're not seeing are these insecurities that are actually holding you back. It's kind of like if somebody was saying to you, what they see in you is like, you just seem like, because you allow yourself to be more you know, like your quirkiness, you embrace it. They'll be like, you know, you're so confident in yourself and all of this stuff and so self-assured. But then somebody else is trying to say something to you, and you're trying to tell them like, look, I can't really talk right now, you know, but because I'm tired and I already gave you my answer, so please stop insisting, you know. But this person keeps insisting anyway, right? Crossing your boundaries. And you guys don't have that back. It's not that you don't have the backbone, but it's like your backbone needs to be strengthened for you guys to be like, no, I already said no, right? It's like, it's almost like your body and your actions are reflecting who you guys truly are inside, your soul essence, this divine essence, right? But your mind, or like that past, is the thing that's kind of holding you back in the past. So you guys have learned how to say no. You guys have learned how to assert your boundaries. But your default setting goes back to, you know, it's like, again, you're doing the things. You're going to the fountain. You're filling up your cup with this beautiful healing water. But when you're in a state of confrontation, right, where your kind of fight or flight instinct comes in, whether it's an action, like it doesn't have to be like an actual assault. It could literally just be somebody pressuring you, and it makes your fear or fight or flight aspect kick in, right? And in that state, you guys kind of go back to that old being too nice, right? Not knowing how to say no, or whatever it is that it could be for you guys. So it's just coming to your attention. If you felt that this was triggered recently, it's coming to your attention to let you know this is something that is time to get a little bit more like healing, right? It's just healing. So the way that you heal it is just by being conscious about it, right? Give yourself a prep talk maybe at the beginning of the day, or like visualize yourself as being more stern and stuff like that. And you can be nice. Being nice is great. It's lovely, it's wonderful, but not when you're trying to show your inner child like, hey, I can protect you, I'm taking care of you. But then you kind of like hand over those conflict arising situations to them, right? And again, it's totally fine. Don't beat yourself up. It's about being gentle. That's the whole point, right? We were just talking all about that whole thing about giving love to those areas instead of judgment, right? Because judgment only perpetuates the thing. It's almost like judgment is the way that the ego is disguising itself or putting on a mask to be like, I'm seeing what I'm doing, you know, blah, blah, blah. I shouldn't be doing that. That's wrong. But it's like, the fact that you're saying that's wrong is saying that it's just another aspect of your ego, talking about the ego, making it seem like some kind of evolution has happened when really it's still the ego talking, right? Divine speaks through love. So, yes. Okay. Yeah, it's just about you guys getting a little bit more comfortable with, you know, whether for some of you guys it's going to be boundaries, for some of you guys it's going to be a couple of other things. But yeah, let's see what else we've got. What other cards we have. And just a reminder, because you guys know you're not in that place anymore. I mean, look at how much progress you've made in the last couple of months alone, right? You've done a lot. You should be very proud of yourself. This is you guys showing yourself that you are talking the talk and walking the walk, but it's the mind. The mind is the only thing that still is saying that it needs that kind of healing, okay? That inner child is saying like, hey, I'm challenging you. Can you actually take care of me? And this is when you say, yes. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to show you on the bottom of the decks, you have the Strength card coming out twice. And you also have the Hierophant, right? So I feel like Divine is really with you, okay? And just like we were saying, it's about you living up to your potential and you realizing that you've got all of the support that you need, including from yourself, right? Becoming that support that you've always wanted for yourself. Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. I used the cards out of order of how they were placed, so I'm kind of like trying to put them back and like, where did I put them? Okay. Next up, we've got, ooh, interesting, allowance. The number 9. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, ooh, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. It's so funny because it's making me think of what I mentioned earlier. Like, remember when I said, it's like if everything is going good and then something comes up for you guys internally, or like a judgment or whatever, or something that's kind of like shadowy, you guys try to keep staying on the positive or keep moving forward instead of looking at that shadow, right? That's kind of like resistance. And instead of like trying to change the topic or shift focus away, remember I said focus on it, allow it, right? Let it, ask it, like, what are you trying to show me? Try to understand where it's coming from. I just think that's funny that it came up, because we allow the universe to become our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. Because you see, this judgment or whatever it is, this thing that you're trying not to look at, or that whenever it comes up you kind of brush it off, this thing is actually going to be the thing that gets you to expand your consciousness, because it's telling you where the healing needs to be, right? Okay. Wow. Okay, you guys have Jesus, forgiveness, compassion, the spiritual teacher, the number 17. That is so funny. Okay, that is so funny, because I literally said, did I say that during, yeah, I said it at the beginning of your reading, right? I said, Jesus, take the wheel. That is hilarious, because I shuffled all of these cards before any of that. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. But just like we were talking about, this journey of empowerment, you had the Hierophant card on the bottom of one of those decks, right? It's like there's a mission for you. There's this big purpose where all of it is just coming from the things that bring you joy, and you guys just shining. That's what you're working towards, your expansion, your Christ consciousness mindset, right? And this forgiveness and compassion to yourself. Okay, because anybody that's triggering you or that makes you feel uncomfortable is only showing you guys where there's something within you that is a little bit out of balance. Okay, even if they are in the complete wrong, I'm not justifying their actions. I'm just saying, just like we are God, we are the universe, right? Like what I was saying, everything is just the universe experiencing itself. So this is you experiencing an aspect of a part of, it's to reveal these aspects to us that we can work on, that we can heal on, or I don't know. I think it's fascinating how it all goes together. But yes, then we have Archangel Chamuel with unconditional love, heart healing, and self-love. You guys, oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever used these cards in a reading before. But like I had them for a while, but I haven't really used them. So I just think that this is kind of like, thank you guides. This is hilarious. This goes exactly with literally everything that I was just saying. Unconditional love, self-love, and heart healing. And it's interesting that we have heart healing here, right? Because even with Jesus, you see, it's like his heart is on fire and whatever, but it's also like kind of chained up, right? So I think that's kind of interesting. But yeah. Part of it is also trust, I guess, right? But I also wanted to point out the bottom of the deck. We have Saint Dymphna, and it says mental health and well-being and support. So I just thought it was funny that it says mental health, because we were literally talking about the mind as well, okay? Whoa, you guys, you are really ascending into, because Christ consciousness, even there's the heart chakra, which is the center of the chest. Then slightly above it is the higher heart chakra, which is where they say like Christ kind of love, unconditional love, truly resides. If you're going to go with like I think it's like the 13th chakra system. I mean, there are so many chakra systems, whatever. But the reason I say that, oh my goodness, all these synchronicities. You have the number 33, okay, with you're healing your heart. The heart hurts, but it will mend in time. You guys, the number 33 is the number of Christ. It's like, just like the number 44 or 444 is the archangels. They say like 33, or it's like a master number, right? In numerology, something like that. And it is associated with Jesus. So I think this is interesting. Okay. Then we have 21 with following the path of another. Your path is being redirected to where it should be. Yeah, just like we were talking about those fears and stuff like that, that we mentioned from before, because this even kind of has the colors of this other card, sort of ish, right? So I think this is also kind of making me think of, to be honest, like when we were talking about a backbone. So it's like, say for example, you already have an idea, you're excited, you're going for it. But then somebody gives you their input, you know, and other people start giving you their input and they're like, this is the more rational choice, you know, like keep doing what you're doing, but you can incorporate this and this is more practical, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's not their vision, it's your vision. It's not the way that they think is the best way to do it. The reason this vision has been planted in you is because the way that you are supposed to do it is going to be the way that is best to do it, right? So try not to allow other people's influence to kind of taint what it is that you've got going for you, because you guys are guided. This is the part where we talked about with trusting yourself, right? And realizing you can ride that bike on your own. Just because your guides let go of the back of the bike doesn't mean you should allow anybody else, like especially any regular person, to just come in and try to hold the back of the bike and be like, I'm trying to help support you because I care. It's like, thank you for caring, but I can ride this bike on my own. That was the whole point of all of this, you know? So it's like, again, we remember we talked about boundaries. It's about, sorry about the dog eyes, but it's about, not, like, I guess asserting, you're like, this is what I said, you know? So thanks for your input, but this is what I'm going to stick to, you know? And then maybe they'll try bringing it up again and you're like, please stop wasting your breath because I already told you the answer, you know, as opposed to just letting them talk again, right? And it's kind of draining to you guys because now you're tolerating or listening to that kind of thing when you already gave them a response and they're keeping you stuck in this little pattern. Anywho, next we have Archangel Michael with you have nothing to prove. Exactly. Yes. Wow, the cards are all just coming out for you guys in the most beautiful way. It's like you have nothing to prove to anybody. So it's not about doing it in a way that makes them feel like this makes sense or that's right. It's like, it's not about anybody else. It's just about you guys. That's the point. It's just about you. And when you think about how you're going to be helping people or whatever, you know, if you have this intention of turning something into like world scale and helping people, blah, 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 that's great and wonderful, but it's not about the other people. Like, I mean, in this case, your goal, yes, but it's like, don't pursue this just because of the other people. Pursue it because it brings you joy, because it makes you happy. That's why I was saying, remember I even mentioned like the influence of like the voices of your ancestors or people from your past, you know, or your parents or whatever, still kind of stuck in the mind. And it's time to let that go because you guys are already evolving. It was just the stuff you guys hear in your mind, right? And you're finally letting go. You've got this beautiful heart healing coming through in so many different ways. So I'm really proud of you guys. You guys have come very, very, very far, okay? So next we have Orion with narcissism. I'll put this here. Lyra with attraction. I think it's funny how these colors kind of go. Origo with victory. We also have Sagittarius. Can you see that card, by the way? Yeah, Sagittarius. And the end of summer. Okay. So, narcissism, I feel like that's something that you guys could be healing from. Not from being narcissists, from narcissistic people in your life. And that's also part of this heart healing that we've got going on here. But I think that's also this thing with your self-worth and how much you give in to other people's whatevers, right? Or what they say or anything like that. It's because you guys are healing from a kind of narcissistic relationship dynamic situation, whether it was, because it's a general reading, you know, so for some of you guys it's going to be relatives, and then that led into attracting more narcissistic people. For some of you guys it's just going to be like as partners, romantic partners that you guys have had, or friends that you guys have had, you know, so it's a bit of a range for you guys. So Yeah, even Sagittarius. Sagittarius talks about expansion. Isn't that the thing I've been saying like throughout the whole reading? It's like you guys are expanding. Yes, and then we have the end of summer. The end of summer is so leisurely, right? Everybody in the beginning of summer gets excited. They go, they have fun, all of this stuff. But the end of summer, it's kind of like you're just enjoying it. You're sitting on a porch and enjoying it. And I feel like you guys are stepping into that, right? You guys are stepping into that. It's part of your growth. It's part of your expansion. You have victory here. You guys are doing so good. You should be very proud of yourselves, okay? Or, I mean, you don't have to be anything. It's not that you should, but it would be cool if you guys could, or it'd be nice if you guys could see that about yourselves and be actually proud of you, you know, and acknowledge how far you guys have come, because you guys have come far. Look at how you are. You guys are much more happier now than you could have ever been before. You know what I mean? You guys have so many more reasons to smile now. That's a big deal. That's a huge shift. That is a huge progress. Why do you think that it got this way? It's not because the universe is just like, oh, let's just make their group one's lives easier now. It's like, yes, the universe wants that for you, but it's because of how you guys acted, what you guys did to deserve this time of peace, this ease, things kind of just flowing, coming through for you, manifesting. Okay? All right, group one. I think that's all I've got for you. I'm very proud of you guys. You guys have done great, all right? But yes, if you guys enjoyed this reading, I would appreciate if you guys gave it a thumbs up. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments as well. You know, maybe some insights, or would you guys try that affirmation, you know? Or just in general, I like hearing from you guys, you know. I feel like you guys are my friends, especially you group one. I can kind of feel it. Like, we cool, we're chill, you know. I consider you a friend. So, yeah, also, if you guys are newer to this channel, or if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate if you did subscribe to the channel, to be up to date when I post new stuff, but also it would really help the channel out. You guys, I'm so amazed at how many of you there are now. You know, sometimes there's a bit of a disconnect because it feels like a number on a screen, you know. But I think that's why I love getting comments from you guys, because this kind of engagement that we would have between each other makes it feel more real. You know, it's like, oh, there are humans behind these numbers, you know. But yeah, if you guys feel like it, you know, let's get in touch on Instagram. My Instagram is in the description box below. And also, if any of you are interested in a personal private reading, or a custom crystal bracelet, or a custom affirmation song, you guys can reach out to me through either the contacts page on my website or through my email, all in the description box below. But that's all I've got for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, group one. I'm sending you guys so much love, okay, and so much light. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye, group one. Hey, group two. This is your group if you chose this Sunstone card. Welcome to your reading. I'm going to, I finished shuffling your cards a while ago. I took a little break, I'm not gonna lie. So I will read the back of your card, but first let me ring the singing bowl for you. There we go. And yes, I'm excited to see. Interesting. I will read your card in a second. You chose the Sunstone. I think it's interesting because it's like something that's coming through as I saw a couple of the backs of the cards for you guys, because we have the Queen of Swords, okay? We have time to move on. We have options here. Well, it's not called options, it's the Seven of Cups. Then we also have the Six of Cups. Look how cute this is, the Six of Cups. You have Archangel Chamuel on the back with unconditional love, heart healing, and self-love. So I think, and on the bottom of this one, you have Cosmic Flower. I think a couple of you guys, I mean, this is a general reading, right? So it's going to be a different sum of people, but I do think some of you guys, it's kind of like, it's been time for you guys to take action. It's been time, okay? Time to move on, time to take action, because you even have Explorer of Cups. That's the Knight of Cups, right? But Explorer of Cups, the Knight of Cups, is someone who takes, you guessed it, action. And it's funny too, because we have oh no, never mind. Never mind. Not what I thought it was. Those don't count. But it's just, I think it's interesting because it's almost like you guys are getting a little bit of a snippety snappity, it's been time. Come on now. So we've got leadership, confidence, and freedom. Sunstone shines bright, igniting willpower underneath the sun's rays. A stone of leadership, Sunstone gives you the courage to step out on your own and dare to make a difference. Radiating warmth and vitality, Sunstone brings confidence to the beholder and is known to bring good luck. Fortuitous in nature, Sunstone brings out your natural talents, allowing you to shine like the star you are. Sunstone helps fulfill karmic contracts, alleviating pressures around a sense of purpose or fulfillment. Abundance will flow once you nurture your gifts. Leo, Libra, Sun. Okay, y'all. So it's a bit of a mixed bag with you guys. I kind of feel like there's a little bit of a dual dynamic here, like two kinds of audiences, okay? One of them, it's kind of like you're taking action, but you're prioritizing all the things that aren't exactly your goals, so it's almost like because I know the whole point of this reading is like, why is this happening and why you guys are feeling the way that you're feeling. We're going to look into that, but first, messages that come through. So one of you guys is taking action, right? But say, for example, you've always wanted to be I don't know, what are those flexible people, a contortionist, right? Say you always wanted to be a contortionist in a circus for whatever reason that may be. That's been your heart's desire, your goal, okay? But somebody once asked you to try ventriloquism and you tried it and you guys were good. You guys ended up being good and you got lots of fame and you didn't realize it was something that you would enjoy, but you actually kind of enjoy doing it, Now, ventriloquism has become your big money maker. But to become a contortionist, you kind of have to put yourself out there and all of this stuff. But because you're making more of the money with ventriloquism, it's like anytime you get energy or excitement about like moving forward in your life, you put that energy into ventriloquism because it's something you already established. You're getting money off of it. Guys, this is just an example. It doesn't have to be anywhere near this extent, okay? But it's to give you an example of what I'm talking about. So all of that energy is being given into ventriloquism when the universe and God were like, hey, we gave you this newfound energy and this burst of energy so that you can put it towards your lifelong dream of being a contortionist. Okay, so it almost feels like, so half of you guys have started taking action in your life in regards to something, you're doing action, all this stuff, not started, but you're taking action, but it's misdirected action because it's not exactly the heart soul calling, that's been put on a pause. And then for some of you guys, y'all just need to get up off your butt, okay? I say it with love. But some of you guys need to move that booty because there's this whole thing of, I feel like this is a group also from my last reading too. It's so funny. But it's like, it's good to nurture yourself and take care of yourself and honor when you want rest and peace. But if you're only nurturing the divine feminine aspects of you, you can become lazy, right? It no longer becomes healthy. Again, regardless of gender, it no longer becomes healthy feminine energy. It can become toxic feminine energy, right? Like too much. So you guys have to balance that out with some kind of action, with masculine energy, with drive. We are multifaceted beings. We are incredible beings that exist in this multiverse, okay? And we have both sides in us, masculine and feminine, dark and light, right? It's an incredible balance. And then, you know, we're born into this world and we have karma and we have situations and trauma, and it throws that balance off balance. And then the rest of our life we kind of spend bringing it back to balance, right? So guys, it's time to bring it back to balance. With love, I say it, okay? All right. I don't mean to be coming on too strong about this, but you know, you guys are here. So if you're here to receive a message, and this beeth one of the messages, okay? For those of you that are, you know, that know you should be taking action, come on, you guys, do it for you. Do it for you and nobody else. It's not about anybody else. It's just for your inner child. Okay, to say, hey, at least I tried getting it out there. And I'm not talking about like you want to do the the contortionism or contortionist stuff, and you decide to put up a video on YouTube, but you never recommend it to anybody or put it on social media, so no one has any way of finding it unless it's sheer luck. You know, that's not trying. That's you coming up with an excuse saying that you tried when really you were still not letting yourself be seen. But you were trying to appease yourself by letting your ego be like, oh, this is technically me trying, you know? It's like, no, it's not, you know? Like, you trying would be you posting that video and then you telling people about it. Right? Right, you guys know this, okay? And then for the other ones of you, right, with the misdirected energy, okay, I would like for you to maybe question, why is it that you automatically send the energy to the other thing? Even though you enjoy the other thing too, you know, but if there's something that every year, once a year or whatever, you get this heart calling for the same exact thing, don't you think that means something? And I know you guys know that it means something, okay? I think you just allowed yourselves to kind of be like, well, this is how things are, you know? And it's like, it's only like this because you're tolerating it or you're allowing it, right? You're entertaining it. But God and the universe, they're like, but we want you to have the thing that you want. That's why we're giving you this energy. That's why we're giving you this success and stuff. We're trying to encourage you to go for things that bring you joy. And that includes this life purpose, soul mission kind of thing, which is you following whatever it is. For this example, it's the contortionist aspect, right? Like going for being a contortionist. Do the ventriloquism, sure, because it's fun for you and whatever. You know, it's bringing in the income. But the 50% that you guys give to that, give the 50% to the other thing that you're doing too. You know, don't split it off into like 20% here, 10%. Oh, a new goal because I have the energy. So I've always wanted to try this. So 10% here. Oh, I've always wanted to 10% here, you know, 10% here, 10% here, 10% to the actual goal. Like, no. Now is not the time for distractions. Now is the time for you to be giving 50% to this other thing that's going to lead to something new, and then 50% to the thing that you guys actually want to be doing, okay? Now is the time. Okay. But the reading is about why is this happening and why are you feeling the way that you're feeling? So we're going to have we're going to have to, you know, do 2 layers of cards because there's a lot of cards. We have the Ace of Cups. Okay. You are the only one that I love. The 8 of Pentacles. Oh man, if my voice goes a little bit, you guys, I went to a concert and the sun, okay? Because I the day before the concert, I sang before doing a vocal warm-up, but it wasn't like regular singing, you know, it was something that maybe one day I'll share with you guys. But we've got the 8 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups. But I did that and I pushed myself too much, and so I got a little bit of a strain, but I was fine. But then I went to a concert the next night, the Chariot, and like completely strained my voice. Like the next day it was a little bit more than the Lovers. Yes, I knew this was going to be talking about letting, okay, I already had a feeling. Okay, oh my goodness, you guys have the Sun twice. Okay, we've got the Four of Swords. And then you have the Sun again. And this is so funny. Okay. I didn't realize I forgot to get rid of, this is the certificate for the cards. It's signed by the creator, you know. I didn't realize that I didn't take this out, but it fell out as one of your cards, so this is kind of great. I just got chills too, so we're keeping it, I guess. The creator's signature, which I think you kind of already may have an idea of what this may mean. Don't downplay it, but it's okay. All right, then we've got the Seven of Pentacles. You are the only one that I love. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying, if my voice cracks. That is why. The Three of Swords. Nine of Pentacles. And funnily enough, you also have the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom here. Oh my goodness. I mean, like, this is incredible. You've got the Star. The Five of Cups. Wow, you guys are getting some doubles here because you have the Six of Cups. And remember I showed you the Six of Cups was on the bottom over here? Very cute. Then we have, ooh, interesting. Yes, things were coming through when I took my little break after I shuffled for you guys. Okay, we have the dark aspect of Scorpio and dark Taurus. Okay. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, we'll look at the other cards afterwards. But yes, this is funny because when I took my little break, I got a little bit of insights during, you know, because anything, honestly, the days that I have readings with clients or in between a reading, anything that happens before that tends to be kind of part of it. So I knew as anything was happening as part of the reading, or I was getting like little impressions or stuff. Give me one sec, guys. Okay. So I just thought this was interesting. Sorry, I'm drinking tea, but I have like a particle from the tea bag just get in the back of my throat. Okay, now for some water. Okay. Alrighty, let us get into it. So what are you guys not... Oh, I was gonna say, what are you guys not seeing? That was last reading. Why is this happening? And why do you feel the way that you feel? Okay. Your reading is going to be a little bit different. I think it's funny that you guys got this, you chose the Sunstone, and then you literally have the Sun card twice, and you have the Star, which the Star is a sun, right? Like a star is a sun, our sun is a star, you know. And then you also literally got an autograph. Okay, so I feel like, remember I was saying you guys are meant to be going and doing things, like, come on, stop sitting on your butt, right? Well, this is a sign you guys are meant to be going out and doing things. You guys are getting a lot of attention right now. Remember how I said it's like with the ventriloquism thing? It's like you get lots of attention, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, just because you're getting all of this hype and all of this stuff going on around you, this is the universe trying to show you, like, we want you to go for the things that bring you joy, right? And to also, like, this is the prime time. Okay, this is the prime time for you guys. Like, why there's so much attention being directed to you guys right now, and this attention and fulfillment and all of this stuff and this motivation to get work done, it's there for you guys to actually go and do the thing that you love, okay? What do you love? What do you love? Because it's time for you guys to start going for it. That's why everything kind of feels, some things kind of feel as if they're in alignment. Like, again, you're getting the attention. Things kind of seem to be like flowing, or like things are looking up or turning up. And it's like, yes, things are looking up. Things are turning up because God is saying, go for it. We're trying to show you the lights are green. The roads are clear for you to just go. You know? We're giving you as many signals as we can. Go for it. Okay? And you guys, it's beautiful that you can take care of yourselves. I feel like some of you guys are coming from that other reading, you know, from that last reading. And maybe you guys were a group. I don't remember which group it was, but I have a group. I remember, I think it was group 1 or maybe another one that like had a similar message. And this message is go for it. Okay, it's beautiful that you guys are nurturing yourselves and you're taking care of yourselves and you're trying to do your healing, but you're not meant to live small, right? You're not meant to live small. You're not meant to live in your comfort zone. It's beautiful that you've learned how to take care of yourself, but you taking care of yourself is kind of secluded. And God is trying to get you to incorporate the rest of the world. Because anything you guys do for you, you're doing for the world. Just naturally. It's innate. It's engraved in that concept. Okay? So it's like, come on, y'all. You know, the universe, God, they're really trying to be like, please, do this. Do this for you. Don't think about the world. It doesn't matter how big of an impact you're meant to be making on the world, which, by the way, it's big. Okay? But that doesn't matter. It's not about all of those other people or whoever you're planning on helping. It's not about them. It's about you. It's not about how you're supposed to be serving. Okay? Because you guys go in it with that mindset, and then it keeps you with pressure from going after the thing that you want, or from actually getting seen, because now there's pressure because you are in this mindset that you have to be of service, that you've come here with a big mission and purpose to be of service. And now you've got to live up to expectation because people already see this and this and this in you. And it's like, no, that's not true. You're not living up to anybody's expectation. The only thing you're here for is to go for the things that bring you joy. Don't do it for anybody else. You're doing it for you. Things are flowing. Obstacles are being removed. And they're being removed because literally it's like God was like, we tried making it hard for you so that you can get moving, you know? And now we realize hard didn't necessarily work for some of you guys. So now we're trying to make it as easy as possible so that you can just keep moving. So come on, you guys, I know you can do it. Okay, look, you literally have an autograph. This is like a status of fame, some kind of recognition. For some of you guys, I don't know why, but this is making me think of an author, like a writer, okay? So I don't know if some of you guys are planning on writing something, or it could be anything, but, you know, maybe a couple of you, this could be a sign for you. Like if you wanted to write a book, or if you know, that was something that you kind of entertained the idea of in your mind, but you would have never taken action. It's like, go for it. Go for it. The world is your oyster. You are meant to play. You are meant to have fun. Those extra serious days are behind you guys now. Okay? Now look, you literally have sunshine twice and blessings coming through. Movement is the only thing they're asking of you, and movement is happening. They're just saying, like, come on, don't lose your momentum. Now is the time to run. Okay? You learned how to walk how many years ago? I was gonna say bazillions of years ago, so I guess this is something that even is karmic. You know, you learned how to walk in so many other lifetimes that you came here already born knowing how to walk. Okay, it's just an example, you guys. But now they're saying, stop pretending like you have to keep learning how to walk. You're supposed to run. So run, 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 run without inhibition, run without limitation, run without judgment or insecurity or thinking about others. Run just for you, just for some kind of freedom. okay? Oh, I wasn't expecting to be preachy today, but here we go. Let me see what else I'm getting. If you hear me repeating the concept of what this video is about today, it's not necessarily for you guys. I'm repeating it for myself so that I can kind of, you know, come back. So it's, why is this happening and why are you feeling the way that you're feeling? Give me one more sec, guys. Interesting. Okay, you guys, this could be kind of a bit of a trigger warning for some of you. Okay? Please know I don't mean it in a way to like call you out and be mean in any kind of way. Okay? So brace yourselves. I have said that. Don't take this to heart. Just kind of hear if it can resonate, if it resonates for you. But it seems like there have been times when you guys have actually self-sabotaged on your blessings, right? Like things started looking up, or you were supposed to be getting more money, or you're supposed to be getting more success and stuff like that. But because it was more convenient to kind of keep playing small or staying in your comfort zone, or you didn't want to be bothered to kind of put in the effort, and it's like, oh, you're getting lots of clients, but you know, I'm tired, so like, can they not? But it's like, you need the money, you know, and you're getting the blessing, you're getting the clients, you're having this success, but you're like, but I'm tired, but I feel like I need rest, I need to take time for me. But like, you do that so frequently that like, you know, it comes down to you getting maybe 3 clients now instead of just this abundance of clients. And you're like, where did all the clients go? And it's like, well, you kept pushing them away by saying, instead of saying thank you and like getting excited about this, you kept saying, I need my personal space. I need my me time. And though you do need your me time and your personal space, I just think you guys have turned it into such a comfort zone that it's kind of like a little, like the word like gluttony is coming to mind, you know? It's like an overindulgence. It's gone beyond self-care to a point where it's being overindulged on, and any kind of overindulgence when it's for a prolonged period of time, it can be not good, right? So I feel like that is kind of a thing. So I think it's time for you guys to try to assess, right? So if you guys have been feeling like, oh, why, whatever, this and this, it's like, keep in mind, because we don't want the past to repeat itself, right? We don't want you guys blocking your own obstacles, your own blessings that come in, right? Your abundance, your prosperity. So I think it's time to ask yourself, because even though you've always been taken care of, you know, you can have more. It's just you guys have kind of been like, no, I'm good. You know, I'm good, kind of staying here. So I think you guys have started moving past it, but there's still this out of habit, you know, and like the past, there's still kind of this innate thing within you that just kind of wants to keep that going a little bit, right? And I think that's where we're starting to play in those dark Scorpio and Taurus aspects, right? That extra protection of self, that kind of gluttonous way of indulging in certain things, and like self-care and taking care of yourself, right? And all of this stuff. But it's like, at this point, it's kind of like a disguise, a masquerade, right? Because it's actually covering up the fact that this is something that you're avoiding, like the blessings are something you're avoiding giving to yourself, or avoiding allowing in, right? And that's coming from some kind of trauma, right? So it's really time for you guys to ask yourself, what is the reason that you guys are still holding back? There's this technique, it's called the 7 whys, okay? I believe it started with like 3 whys, and then somebody was like, well, we can make it deeper so that you can get to the real reason behind something, so make it 5 whys. And then they were like, actually, you can go even deeper, which I've done this technique, BT dubs, okay? And after 5 whys, you're kind of like, I don't think I can go any deeper. But if you can keep pushing yourself and being like, yeah, but why? and you go to the 7 layers, it's very, very, very revealing. So I think you guys can ask yourself, like, why do I keep focusing on, and the first few levels of why, you're gonna know the answers easily, okay? They're gonna be things that you already know about yourself. But once you start going in deeper, it can maybe bring up a core memory or the thing that exactly needs healing, right? So ask yourself, like, why do I keep, just as an example, right? This is a general reading, so maybe your why is gonna look a little different, but why do I keep self-protecting and like keeping myself hidden away instead of going out into the limelight and enjoying it? And whatever your answer is, right? To that answer, you'll now say, and why exactly is that? And why do I feel that way? And then again, to that answer, you will again say, but why is that? Or why do I feel that way? Or why does it, what does, like, again, it's kind of like whatever your answer is, right? It's going to change the phrasing a little bit of the question. But like the whole point is you're asking yourself, okay, I see that. But why? And maybe like me, after the 5th one, you're going to be like, well, I don't know if I can go anymore, Milka. And it's like, I thought the same thing, but you can. Just sit down, take a breath, and be like, okay, by the way, do this all in one day. Don't ask why once a day, for 7 days. It's like not like that. It's got to be in a row, right? While you're in a roll. So calm down and then ask yourself for that 6th time, and why is this important? Okay. And then one more final why. You can do this for healing. You can do it for your career, right? To kind of get what is it that you want to do in your life specifically? Like we use that example of becoming a Venn diagram. I was going to say a Venn diagram. Oh my gosh. Somebody wants to become a Venn diagram. That's funny. Well, I guess a Venn diagram is talking about the perfect balance or a mix of things, right? So maybe that's balance, but that's funny. No, but what was it? A contortionist, right? Now, just as an example, why does this person want, why do you want to be a contortionist? What is the driving factor there? Like, why do you want to be a contortionist? Oh, because it makes me happy to do blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And why is that? Oh, because I like to see, because I know something that I can do is really cool and I would like to bring joy to people in this way. Okay, why do you want to bring joy to people? Not like in this way, but why is that now the goal? Why do you want to bring joy to people? Oh, because, I don't know. Give me a second, guys. I'm coming up with, imaginary examples. So I need a second. Why? Well, I don't even remember the question. But yeah, I was like, why do you want to do? Okay. Because you have to be completely honest, right? So why do you want to make people happy? Okay. Maybe the answer could be because I like attention. Okay. But why do you like attention? Because it didn't feel like I got enough attention when I was a kid. Okay. And why is that? Because my mom and dad were doing this and they were busy and blah, 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 blah. Okay, and why is that? Because we needed money. Okay. Or because they're doing a charity and so they never had time. Okay, they prioritize other people. And why is that? And then you kind of get a little stuck there, but then you kind of start realizing there is a why. You can sort of answer it the way your inner child would have heard that why, So why do they prioritize money or something? Oh, because their parents had no money and so they tried to survive or whatever. I'm kind of losing the point here because it's a fictional situation, so I'm like, whatever. But it goes layers deep, and even if you're not necessarily finding out, because that was like career based, right? So you can do it based on your career to kind of find out why you really want to be doing something and see if it kind of comes out of that. But you can also do it with emotions, It's like, when I do this, it makes me feel this way. Why is that? Because it triggers this, you know what I mean? Like, just Anyway. Yeah, it kind of feels like there is a little bit of stagnation by succumbing to overindulgence or gluttony coming through a little bit here, guys. And that's okay. We all go through those phases, you know. But I think that's one of the reasons why they keep saying kind of like, get up, get off your butt. With the Queen of Swords, it's like you got to be critical here. You got, not critical. You have to be like clear, decisive, you know, no question marks, no, not sure, just keep going, keep moving forward, right? Time to move on, keep going forward. Okay, let's see what else we're getting here. I know with you guys, I kind of lost the point a little bit, and I'm sorry, of the reading. I mean, because it's supposed to be wise. I mean, I feel like actually we touched on why things are happening, actually, yeah, so that you can have forward movement, blah, 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 all this stuff. Okay, yes. Sometimes I get a little, I try not to get any, not to let any negative comments kind of get to me, you know. And thankfully, I'm so grateful. I don't have too many, you know, God bless, knock on wood, negative comments, but there was one comment once that was like, oh, I don't see the point or something like that. And ever since then, I kind of, oh, there's the message here too. So we're going to touch on that before I move those cards. But yeah, so sometimes I kind of feel like, oh, maybe am I not getting the point across in the reading? Like, am I not focusing on the statement? Though the part of me that connects to divine knows that like the message that comes through is the message that comes through. That's not something I can control, you know, because I'm just the vessel for God's message. So, or like the angels that come through here. So, yeah, I don't know why I shared that, but I guess maybe on some level, it's kind of like not letting insecurities be the thing that stop you, right? It's like, yes, I can get insecure about that, but I choose to keep moving forward instead because I know what it was like to kind of get lost in that insecurity. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, not at all. You know, healing is a life's journey and we're constantly progressing, and some kinds of things or some certain things that we experience become our lesson for life, you know, that we just kind of have to keep instilling within ourselves for life. And then it'll get better, and then maybe it'll pop up on a smaller scale later on. And that's okay because that's just part of life. But it shouldn't be the thing that causes us to not keep going forward, right? You guys are past that stage, even evolution-wise, of getting left behind because of this kind of an insecurity type of dealio, you know? And something that I want to touch, like this, first off, I love how all of these are blue. There's a greenish tint here, but these actually just so happen to kind of be blue. But what I think is interesting here is I feel like some of you guys, right? It's almost like if you tried going for something, like say for singing, if you tried going for singing and like you auditioned or something and it didn't go well and you experienced some kind of rejection, it created this fear of you guys to try to do it again. So it almost seems like one of the things that you guys have to overcome, right, as we were talking about insecurity, is because you guys are a star. It just wasn't the time then, okay? That was the reason that it didn't go through, whatever it was. But don't get fixated on the fact that it didn't work out in the past, because you are not in the past. You are in the present, and the present is different from the past, okay? The only reason that the present can sometimes seem like the past is if you're bringing in those thoughts and that ego and consciousness from the past into the present, okay? And coming from ruling your life from that place, okay? Coming from that place. So, yes, things can be beautiful again and continue to be beautiful, and you can go for that thing that you love wholeheartedly, knowing that God supports you, and that's all that you need, God's got your back and you've got your back, okay? You've got a whole team of people working with you guys. All right, let's see what else we've got. We also have emergence with the number 25. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. You see, on some level, it's kind of like going with a new perspective, right? You're not carrying in the hurt or the pain or the trauma or the past. You're going in with fresh eyes, with new eyes, okay? And like you're coming out into the world. Then we have Archangel Jeremiah with reflections, dreams and visions. Incredible, right? Again, it's coming through with what do you want? And really kind of reflect and see where it's coming from, these insecurities, right? Or these things that can kind of cause self-sabotage. Like, what is the real core? And what is the real core and drive of why your heart desire is your heart's desire, okay? Then we have number 4. So this is 11. Then we have 14, Archangel Azrael, death and rebirth, transformation, transitions and life changes. Yeah. This is a new beginning, you guys. This is new. This is not the past. Okay? So go for it. Go for it. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Look. No longer holds power over you. Dissolve attachments of the past with love. You guys, this is so incredible. I love this so much. And I'm looking at this time to move on thing again, right? No longer holds power over you. Time to move on. And it's just incredible. And I just got chills because even the last group, for whatever reason, I mean, well, divine, you know, but like this row, the second row of cards, goes exactly with the message that I said. So, you know, incredible. I mean, I've been doing this for some time now, but still, it's still kind of, you know, you still get like excited over it. But you guys, guess what is next? So that's 10. Then you've got the number 8 with you are worthy. Aim for what you want and believe in yourself. You guys, yes, you deserve to be happy. And we have those blues coming through again, right? Blue and another thing. You guys are okay. So something, I just got chills again. Something that I wanted to say earlier, or that I got, was like, because 2 of these cards came out for you. And I remember saying when those 2 cards came out, I didn't see them, but I remember saying, oh, you guys are very special. Okay, you guys are very special because you got 2 cards, you know? And then I saw these 2 cards. So, okay, you've got Ariel, let the spirit of love lift you. How beautiful, okay? And it's kind of like, let God, let love inspire you, uplift you. Let it be transcendent and healing. Cry if you have to cry. Let it go, let it out. And go into the light of the thing that brings you joy, okay? But then you guys also have Wisdom of the Archangels. This is like, this is not technically part of the cards, but I like to use it as, or maybe it is. Actually, it is, I think, one of the cards. But like Wisdom of the Archangels, you guys, this is so special, okay? It is so special. It is so wise. It is so grand. The presence is so big and so bold and stands out so much, okay? You guys can't hide. You literally can't hide. So it's almost like God is saying, just give in to the fact that you can't hide and keep moving forward, okay? Then we have Cancer with distract. Yes, we were literally talking about distractions. Capricorn with evolve. And that's funny because you guys with the zodiac cards, you had Scorpio and Taurus. Those are opposites. Now you have Cancer and Capricorn. Those are also opposites. But what I wanted to mention with all of the blues coming through, okay, that's the different shades of blue. We've got the throat chakra and the third eye, okay? The throat chakra is vision, right? It is your vision. And we were just talking all about reflection and all of this stuff. So like really kind of getting the clarity of seeing where exactly it's coming from and absolving it or dissolving it, okay? And then the throat chakra is expression. Just living, go and do. Just do. It's not holding back anymore, okay? Then we have Canis Major with Dominance. Yeah, exactly. I just heard a lyric from a song. It's like, when you're dominating... Wait, hold on. What was it? When you dominate the day, I'm gonna be the one to... It's something along the lines of like, when you're dominating the day, I want to be the one who's by your side, you know? The song is called Banks to Your River, I think, by Need to Breathe. Yeah. And, or maybe it's just Banks. I don't know, Banks or Banks to Your River, whatever, by Need to Breathe. And like in the lyric, they're saying, when you're dominating the day, I want to be the one that's by your side. You know, it's like, for those of you guys who are waiting for love, it's like you're supposed to be living the life that you want first. And then love is going to come. Okay? You're going to have a great partner, but they're coming from an empowered place, which means you have to be coming from that place too. Right? So don't try to go succeed now so that you can have love in your life. It's not about other people. It's about you guys. You are worthy. Because this pursuing your life goal, your dream, is you proving to that little child within you, saying you are worthy, you are lovable, you deserve this, my beautiful little angel. I'm gonna go and give it to you now, right? You're saying that to yourself. And then since you guys, and it's a healing journey, it's healing for this deep core belief, this deep core wound for you guys. And once you get this healing in, then you're going to also stop blocking in the love of your life too, right? Because now you're going to feel worthy, like you actually deserve it, like really deserve it. Not just consciously think you deserve it, but on a subconscious level, exist in that reality too, okay? Then, oh, of course we do. Then we have Leo and the 4th house. Okay, I just heard the words mother healing. Okay, so maybe there could be a mother wound or some kind of a belief, a limiting belief that comes from the mother's side of the family. Okay. Maybe self-worth issues also kind of are more prominent from your mother's side of the family. But we do have Leo, which is the sun, which can also represent the father, because we do have Cancer and Capricorn, which is the father-mother. So it could be coming from both sides, you know. But it's like, stop with the distractions and this comfort zone. It's so funny too, right? Because if Cancer is the mother and Capricorn is the father, even though they're both technically water and earth signs are the feminine element, they're feminine elements, but just based off of this kind of mother-father kind of figure, it's like, remember I was mentioning being in the feminine energy has become a distraction. This kind of self-care has become overindulgent, so it's become a distraction. So kind of go more into this masculine energy, which we have here to evolve, right? So being in that masculine energy is evolution for you guys, and it's in alignment with all of these blue colors. And then dominance is eventually getting the balance between these two, but right now you've got to be focusing more on that like drive kind of thing, okay? Leo, we had the sun come up so many times. You guys even have sunstone. This is literally about just shining your light. Go, have fun, play, go and do. Just do, you guys. Oh, okay. I think that's it for you guys. I know that was a very weird way to end the reading, but that was it. That's all I've got. It just kind of, I feel like pooped, you know? Wow, all this toilet talk with you guys. I mentioned going to take a break. I just said I feel pooped, you know? So maybe it's time for you, for some of you guys, okay, to kind of unclench, right? To surrender and just let things happen. But yes, because it feels like even with you guys, it's like you guys were resisting the universe giving you the things that you want, right? We were talking about that. You're resisting this. So kind of unclench and just let it go. Let it happen, okay? But yes, group 2, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Also, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. I hope you didn't feel too called out, okay? Also, I'd love to know if you guys chose the other groups that I was mentioning, kind of like resonated in the, or sounded similar message in the last reading. So let me know, okay? Also for those of you who are new or even returning people who are not subscribed, I would appreciate if you guys would like to subscribe to the channel, only if you like, of course. as it does support the channel, which is very nice. And also you guys could be up to date for when I post new things. I am thinking of doing a love reading kind of soon too, so you guys would be able to be clued in for when that comes along. Also, if you guys are interested in a personal private reading or a custom crystal bracelet or a custom affirmation song, you can reach out to me through the contacts page on my website or through my email, all in the description box below. And I'm also now on Instagram. Well, I have been on Instagram, but I'm currently working on advertising my Instagram and being more active on it. So if you guys would like to show some support or say hi on there, it is NutAeum. That's my handle. You can also find, I believe, a link in the description box. And yeah, that's it for today, you guys. That's all I've got for you. I'm sending you guys so much love. Okay, so much light, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'm excited for you guys to take action. Okay, group 2. All right, bye guys, I'll see you next time. Hey group 3, this is your group if you chose the agate. Okay, I'm gonna read the back for you guys in just a moment, but let me ring the singing bowl for you guys. Oh, wow, that was so quiet. There you go. It's so funny too that I accidentally rang it so quiet, because while I was shuffling your cards, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I had to take a break. I just got so tired. And I thought that was interesting that I kept yawning, right? And I felt like you guys needed a little bit of maybe rest, you know, or like a well-earned or deserved rest, you know. You guys are not the group that is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, okay? Like, you guys are on track. That's kind of how it feels. You guys are on track in your life. You're getting there, and you guys just need to take a little bit of a break, or not even a long break. It's literally like take a day or something to yourself. I think some of you guys were even thinking about it, you know. And if you hear me mentioning during your reading the topic of today's video, right, which is why is blank happening to group 3 and why are they feeling the way that they're feeling? If you hear me mentioning that, just so you guys know, it's not for you. I'm just doing it to kind of refocus myself. Because I've never really done a reading quite like this before, so I just kind of need a bit of a reminder of the prompt sometimes. Yeah, so it's been a while since I shuffled your cards, but they are shuffled. Also, something I wanted to let you guys know, right? Something that I wanted to let you guys know is everything that you guys have done up until now has indicated that you guys are now ready for love. Okay? It feels like you guys are ready for love. Like, your heart is open enough. You guys have done enough, you know? It's so funny because this is actually making me think of, when did I use the pins? I think that was the last video. Was it the video before that? I don't know, but there was a group, and I think it was group 3 and that group 2, which is funny. You know what is so funny? I kind of feel like so far in this video, there have been a couple of parallels between this video and the last one, and they seem to be correlated with exactly the same numbers so far. I mean, I don't know what your cards say yet. You know, I don't know what your cards are, but just the feeling that I got, because as I was shuffling, I remember hearing, you guys are ready for love. Okay. So does that mean a relationship is going to fall into your lap this very second? Not necessarily, you know, it's a general reading, but it does seem like if there's some kind of an opportunity that presents itself, you guys should know that you're ready. And it's going to be all about trust, because you guys have earned it. You guys have worked towards it. That's what you guys have been opening your hearts for, right? Not just for love from other people. It's like for self-love, for self-healing. But this is one of the rewards that comes with it, is a partnership with somebody. And again, I'm not saying somebody's coming around the corner this very second, but it's like you guys are getting there. You are ready for, and your cards are falling out of my hand. So It just started sliding out. So let's just get right into your reading. First, let me read the back of your card. It says stability, grounding, truth. A stabilizing stone, agate is used to balance the mind, body, and spirit, creating harmony in all areas of your life, much like the patterns on the crystal itself. Grounding and supportive, agate helps to reveal inner truths, cleansing beneath the surface to expose your authentic self. A wonderful stone to heal resentment. Agate frees you from the self-imprisonment of inner anger, replacing it with safety and security. Agate takes its time, vibrating at a slow and steady pace, and encourages you to take as much time as you need for the matter at hand. Gemini, Mercury. Okay, let's set your card to the side and let's see what you guys have got. We may have to do like 2 layers of cards because there are quite a few cards this time around. Okay, oh wow, you guys have the World. Oh, I forgot to ring the singing bowl for you. Oh no, I did it. I almost rang it again. Oh, I don't know why, but that made me think of being prepared, like preparedness. So, and it's kind of like being over-prepared, you know? Like, say for example, you're gonna order something online and you put in your address and you checked it and then you kept moving forward, but right before you place the order or go to the next page, you're like, oh my gosh, I need to check the address again because I don't know if I did. It kind of feels like this is relating to the love aspect too, in some way, which I think is kind of cute. It's kind of funny. Okay. Okay, then we've got the Page of Swords. The Star. The 8 of Cups. The 5 of Pentacles. The Empress. Oh my goodness, what are the odds? Okay, you guys. I was just telling group 2 because this just so happened to happen to them, but I didn't realize that I left out this signature card. Like this deck is limited edition, I think, and it was signed by the creator. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep it in the reading because, you know, why not? And so I put it back in the deck and I shuffled and I guess it came out again for you guys, which I think is so interesting. Then we've got, oh, you guys actually got 4 cards. Wow. So you actually did end up getting a full set of tarot. The Sun. The Tower. The Fool. Yeah, sorry if you guys hear me yawning or sighing or a little less energetic at certain points. I'm just a little tired. We have the Elder of Pentacles, which is the Queen of Pentacles. The 5 of Cups. The 9 of Swords. The 2 of Wands. The 5 of Pentacles. The 10 of Wands. Okay, and then we have the shadow aspects of Aries and the shadow aspects of Aquarius. Oh, and you guys actually got 3 of these too. Then you have Apollo, which is so interesting. And we'll look at the other cards afterwards. Okay, give me a second, you guys, just to see what I'm seeing. Why is group 3 going through this or experiencing this? And why are they feeling the way that they're feeling? Okay, you guys have done a lot of self-work. You guys are like the group that heals themselves. I even feel like you guys have a healing touch. Like you guys just have this kind of energy or presence. There's a kind of healing touch to you. Like maybe when people get a hug from you, or if you put your hand on somebody, they feel healed, or like, I don't know. Yeah, they just feel good. It's almost like you guys tune up their energy a little bit. You guys are very nurturing too. You guys are super nurturing. And it kind of feels like the universe is making you let go of the past, whether you want to or not. So like things seem good, you know, like things don't necessarily seem bad, but it does feel like, I don't know, there's like the invisible hand is very present in your life, right? The invisible hand of God, it's very present in your life right now. It seems like, sorry guys, give me a second. I'm kind of looking at two different things at once. So it seems like you guys have a very, I just heard high status in society. I'm not saying that you guys are like super rich or super, you know, popular or like managers or bosses, though I guess some of you guys could be that. But it just feels like that's your energy, like that's your essence. I think people kind of, whether they know you or not, like I think the people who know you really, really closely, like your close friends, it's a different story. But it feels like acquaintances, people that you may come across at work or in school, and like people that you just so happen to encounter in the wild. I feel like they get this impression that you guys are well off, like you guys are, you know, I don't know, like abundant. This doesn't answer the question of the reading though, so let me see if I can get anything else here apart from people's impressions of you. Oh, got it. Thank you, God. Okay, here we go. So basically, people are getting this impression of you. Like you've got a higher status than maybe you actually do. Like you make more money than maybe you actually do. Like maybe you're more secure than you actually are within yourself and in general. Like you have more abundance and prosperity and all of this stuff. I feel like people think your life is hunky-dory. And like I'm getting almost like celebrity kind of status. Like people equate, like they equate you to kind of a famous person, almost a little bit. Yeah, this is sounding like a group or two, like mixed from the last reading too. I wonder who you guys are. No, but really, it does feel like people give you this, there's this equivalence of like this fame. Because even look, you have Apollo. This is the only gold card in this deck. It was an extra card and I keep it in the deck. And the fact that you guys got it, look, literally a golden halo around. It's a gold card. It's like there's something so special, and you guys got the sun and the star, there's some, and the world, right? It's kind of world, it's like anyone that you encounter, and you got the signature. And I mean, if you look here, all three of these cards are major arcana. So it feels like you guys, I feel like you guys get followers too, and maybe you don't realize it, maybe you've started noticing it, but you guys get followers, okay? Like people want to look up to you. And I think the reason that all of this is happening, the reason that you guys are getting so many people following you, or like the status increase or whatever it may be, or the illusion of a status increase, it has to do with, like, this is just you guys coming into your truest selves. It almost feels like a journey, like authenticity, you know? Like, I feel like you guys were playing small before. And again, you've done a lot of healing. And I think that's why, you know, you remember how I was mentioning like the double checking here, and even with like the ready for love thing, it's kind of like you guys may not feel ready, you know, or it's kind of like you were so, it took you a while to get there, because now that you're finally like, no, I'm okay with waiting, you know, like I'm okay with waiting as I continue to become ready, right? And it's like you guys have been doing, like I said, you guys are the group that does the work. So like you guys have been doing the work, and so God is saying like, you're ready, you know? You may not seem ready, you may not feel ready, right? Everything is kind of feeling like a new start or a new beginning, or like there's potential energy around it. But it feels like you guys are ready to like jump to the highest potential. But you guys think maybe you're supposed to be testing the water to like jump at most to 50%, right? But it's like God is saying, no, I just want, like, you're ready, you know, like you don't have to do 50%, like just go. Like, it's a lot. There's another group that had a slightly similar message in this reading, but for them, it's kind of like there's more of a telling off, you know, it was a little bit more of a, come on now. For you guys, it's kind of like, no, you're good, go on, you know, like you've got permission, like we're all just standing back watching you, like we're ready, go on, you're ready too, like go for it. Yeah, I feel like you guys are super creative too. There's something that you're meant to do that's supposed to be getting out to a lot of people, okay? Whatever it is that your passion is, you know, because usually following your joy is the thing that'll get you there. But I feel like anything that doesn't serve you, God is going to be cutting it out of your life. So if you're worried that something is not right for you as you're trying new things or as you're getting ready to test the new waters, it's kind of like you don't have to worry about it, because God's going to be like, don't worry, I'm getting rid of all the things that aren't necessary. So like, I think that things are just going to be manifesting for you guys easily. And I feel like this is the universe trying to show you like, hey, this is who you are. Like how people see you, that's the kind of power that you actually do have. And once you actually realize it, it's like people are just not even going to be able to comprehend you, you know. It's like they feel this way with you feeling a certain way, like you feeling like you're not 100% ready, or like you could prepare a little bit more. Now, if you actually owned your full potential and actually were confident in the fact that you're ready, and all it's coming through here is confidence, right? If you guys had that full confidence, oh my goodness, you would be like amazing anybody and anything that comes across you. You know what I mean? So really, God is just trying to, like, the reason why these things are happening, going on in your life, is God is trying to show you, like, you guys are going down the right path and you're ready. Okay? You've got all of the tools that you need. You've acquired them over all this time. You've done the healing. You know, healing is a life journey, so you're never going to be fully healed. Right? It's kind of like how we talked about with love. It's like, oh, but I still have a little bit more of the abandonment wound to heal. Oh, I still have a little bit more of the, I don't know, trauma to heal or whatever. But it's kind of like, well, healing's a life journey, and it's going to take you a lifetime to fully absolve that, you know? But you've healed enough of it to get into a healthy, conscious relationship or connection with somebody. Doesn't mean there'll be no conflict or you won't get triggered, but it means that you've done enough healing that you can also be conscious and aware enough now that, like, you can catch yourself if you got a little too lost and be like, oh, you know what, can we get like a day or two where I just kind of focus on me and like address this because this and this, and like you guys can communicate. You guys have gotten so much better at communicating how you feel. You know, I'm really proud of you guys. I'm very impressed. You guys have done quite a bit for yourself. You deserve it just because you exist, but beyond that, you guys have genuinely actually earned this kind of a success and reward and connection, and like where you guys are heading right now, right? And how things are starting to kind of unfold. It's almost as if you guys are saying, you know, it would be really, really nice to get a rose. I wish somebody would get me a rose or a flower. It would be nice, you know, and then literally somebody just randomly gives you a flower on the street, or you just so happen to find like a flower, like a small flower that like fell out of a bouquet or whatever it may be on the street in front of you. Like, you guys are putting in requests and God is going, yes, check, like, here you go, right? And it's just to show you how far you guys have passed some kind of test, maybe some time, like a month or a couple of weeks ago, whatever it is. You guys have passed some kind of test. You guys are in your new beginning. You guys are doing good. Like, I just hear you guys are good. You're doing good. You're doing good. You know, be grateful, be happy. Just continue to do that because you guys are doing good. You don't have to think about the next test just yet. Just enjoy this, okay? Enjoy this. Enjoy your reward, because you're always going to have a test. And if you keep thinking about the next test, you're never going to smell the roses, right? And what's the point of living if everything is just to take something off of a checklist? So that's why you guys are experiencing what you're experiencing and things are coming into your life a lot quicker. It's because You guys are meant to enjoy, to relish in your victory, right? I mean, even in this sun card looks like a victory because of the flag, at least in my opinion, okay? All right, now let's take a look down here. Yeah, I kind of feel like this Nine of Swords is very much giving off that vibe. Like, if you look at this rabbit, you know, it's like everyone is charging at the rabbit. Like, oh, rabbit, what do I do? What do I do? What do I need to do this? Blah, 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 blah. Solve this problem, solve this problem. And this rabbit is kind of like crouching down, like, why are you asking me? I don't know. I don't know. And it's like, but the rabbit does know. Everybody can sense that the rabbit knows. But the rabbit is the only one that's not entirely certain that they actually have this kind of knowledge or wisdom or power or whatever. So it does feel like this is kind of like the leftovers of whatever it is that you guys were healing. You know, like the next step is you guys realizing that you do have the power. And I think, sorry guys, I don't know why it got so hot. Maybe it's like humid outside, but I'm a sweating, okay? So, oh, that's kind of funny with this rabbit, right? It's kind of like, oh, uncomfortable, nervous. It's like, I don't know, you know? So I think it kind of goes with the theme. But, yeah, even with this Five of Cups, it's kind of like you guys are still coming in, seeing things from, again, you've gotten so much better. You've done so much. The only thing is kind of a little bit of it's really just kind of realizing your own power, right? Another group had a similar message. I'm wondering if you guys chose two groups. They also had a journey of empowerment. And I feel like that's where you guys are. It's really about you guys building the confidence. And I will say you guys have it a little bit easier than that other group, okay? If you only chose one group. Because that other group, it's kind of like a, come on already, get it together. I think, unless I'm mixing them up already, it's been a couple of hours. Whereas this group, you guys, it's kind of like God is showing you guys that you can handle it. You know, it is more gentle. It kind of feels overwhelming and you're kind of like, I don't know. Like, why are you asking me? I'm not the person. And then it's like, God is going to show you like, actually you are the person. And you're going to be like, oh, like once you have a moment alone and you kind of come down, you're like, that was weird. That was kind of crazy. Like, why were they all coming up to me? And then you're like, oh, because I guess I do kind of know how to solve that and this and that. And then God and the universe are like, duh, that's why we sent them to you. You got this, you know? So it feels more supportive on your end. It doesn't feel like a confrontation, but I think it's because you guys do the work, you know, like you haven't taken a break. So yes. Let's see what else I'm getting here. Also, I feel like if you guys are feeling this kind of intimidation or something, it's valid, it's justified. It's because the universe has kind of thrown you guys into the ring, you know? It's like you guys were walking around the ring, right? Observing the ropes that kind of keep the ring intact. Right? If we're talking about like one of those boxing or whatever rings, right? Like those square rings. And it's like you guys were walking around the ropes. You walked around every corner. You've analyzed every corner. You've analyzed how people have gone into those rings. You've done the work. You've trained yourself to kind of feel comfortable to go in between the ropes or whatever. And then, you know, eventually you're going to go into the ring. That's kind of what this training is going for, right? But the universe just goes, okay, you're in the ring. And you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this, you know? It's not like a complete, like, what is this? I can't believe this. Like, I feel so overwhelmed in my chest. Sorry guys, give me a sec. It's kind of like that, you know? And it's like there is an overwhelm, but then you kind of settle in and you're like, oh, I'm not facing an opponent right this second because they're giving me a second to adjust to the fact that I'm in the ring, you know? but I was planning on going into the ring on my own accord. But you know, your own accord could have taken 3 years, and they're just like, no, you're good now. Like, you're ready. You've analyzed the ring. You've strengthened your muscles. You kind of have figured out how to get in between the ropes, or however people get into those rings. I don't know. And you're good, you know. So like, you're in the ring now. So it's this kind of like an overwhelm, because you're like, oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting to be here so soon. Or just like this, you know, like I was thinking I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not like 1, 5, because that's kind of how it feels. It's like you guys were at 1, and then they're like, oh, actually you're at level 5, and like you skipped like 4 grades, or like 3 or 4 grades or whatever, right? So it's normal for you guys to be feeling this way, but you guys are handling it, so good job. Let's see what else I'm getting here. I am seeing that kind of feeling overwhelmed, not entirely sure how to go about handling the situation. Like, I get it, you guys, it's completely normal for you to be feeling this way, because you kind of have just been thrown into the ring, like we were talking about. So yes, it makes sense that you guys are feeling this way. But, and that's also kind of why you guys are feeling this way, right? It's answering that question as to why are you feeling this way? It's like, yeah, because you were just thrown in and said, like, you know, God said, go. And you're like, which way is forward? You know, you're like, you kind of disoriented me for a minute, because you just picked me up and dropped me in. So, yes. And am I getting anything else in those side cards? I think if you guys start to get a little bit overwhelmed, right? Like any new thing, it's going to get overwhelming initially until you get used to it. So if you guys start getting overwhelmed, it just, like we were talking about taking a break, right? Taking a day. I'm not saying go on a full-on length vacation, but take a day, right? It's okay for you to take a day, because you've got so much going on and it's new and it's overwhelming. So it's like, that's okay. Take a day. And with this Elder of Pentacles, it's the Queen of Pentacles, okay? With this Queen of Pentacles, it's kind of saying like, take this day, nurture yourself. If you start to get a little too overworked or overwhelmed, or you're trying to manage too many things at once, take a day to calm down. Just like we were mentioning in the connection, right? In a romantic connection. It's like, yes, you're going to get triggers and it's going to get overwhelming. And in that case, like, you guys have developed the skill of communication. So what do? You say, hey, can you give me a day to kind of like come together, because I feel like I got a little triggered there and I just need to calm down and like do a couple of my own routine things to get myself back into the state of feeling good again, right? So it's the same thing here. It's like, you guys can handle it, but you may need a day to kind of reset yourself, to ground a bit, to calm down, and to kind of tell yourself, actually, you know what, group 3, I can do it, right? Let's see what else I'm getting here. Okay, so kind of what I'm seeing too is this sensation of having to do everything. It's kind of like, you see how these feminine energies here are on their own? Like, it's really standing out to me, like how the World, the Star, and the Empress are kind of standing alone, right? And I kind of feel with this shadow aspect of Aries and Aquarius, that you guys may kind of feel also overwhelmed, because everything is kind of just out of nowhere fallen on you. Everything about taking care of other people or giving advice or whatever it is that these kind of tasks, or how these people are coming to you or approaching you, it is sort of, it seems as though these things have fallen on you and you guys can handle it. But again, it's just coming through as like the overwhelm of other people's attention and what they're asking of you. And you guys having to handle it with the sensation of handling it on your own, or being like, why is everyone turning to only me? There's literally a supervisor right there that's been here for 5 years. I've only been here for 2 years and I'm not a supervisor. Why are they coming to me for advice, you know? And it's like, well, it's because you guys have that energy. You guys have that air, because people can sense your greatness or what you guys are supposed to accomplish in this incarnation. And yeah, so that's why it's kind of like you're having this experience, but if you just come to terms with the fact that you are supposed to be doing something greater or bigger, I think it's going to be a little bit easier, right? Because you do have Cancer, light attribute. Oh, and I just saw Leo. But we do have light attribute of Cancer here, and underneath that is the light attribute of Aquarius, and underneath that I peek the light attribute of Leo, okay? And underneath the light attribute of Leo was the dark attribute of Leo, which I think is interesting. But it's like Cancer is like this mother, because we talked about there is more feminine energy, regardless of gender here, because it's nurturing. It's a different type of nurturing, okay? But we've got Cancer here, which is like the mother to all. And it's like a celestial Cancer, so it is like the mother to all. So instead of it being like, why is everyone turning to me, feeling overwhelmed by the masses, it's like, you know, this is literally like everything is on me. Why do they keep coming to me? Somebody else is getting paid more money, right? It's a different mindset. It's a mindset shift. So once you guys kind of get like, oh, it's because this is the thing that's going on about me, and people can sense it, I'm the only one who's got to come to it, right? Then it switches, and it's like you guys become from, why is everyone coming to me? Like, oh, I have to handle this too. Or like, this is hard, or this is kind of tiring or exhausting, you know, to a more empowered version of yourself, which is that nurturer of the masses, okay? Because we've got Aquarius here. So for me, this is just representing the masses. And then you guys have got Leo, which I think Leo goes beautifully with the fact that you have Apollo. Apollo is better than Leo, because this is like gold standard, quite literally. It's a gold card. But you guys also have Leo here, right? And Leo is like standing out. It's the line, but it's also a spotlight, right? The star is a spotlight. The sun is a spotlight. The Empress has a spotlight on her. The world literally has all these people coming to her. It is a spotlight, okay? So it's kind of like the sooner you guys own up to it or realize it or come to terms with that, the easier things will start to get, because it's almost like you guys are going to be resisting less, okay? It's like, well, if you guys complain, there's a part of you that's resisting what is happening or what's going on spiritually in regards to this. But if you guys just kind of give in, then that's a whole different story. Then it actually gets a little easier. But again, I don't think you guys are going to be resisting for too long. Like, you guys are the ones that get work done. Like, you guys get work done. I know that. I know for a fact. So you guys are good. You've got nothing to worry about here, okay? I'm going to point out some bottoms of decks too, because I just felt like it was kind of a thing to point out for you guys. So one of the bottoms of the deck, we've got the Strength card. We also have the Devil, okay? We have the Lovers, the Two of Cups, the Milky Way. We're not going to do all of them, but some of them, okay? We also have Romantic Love. And by the way, these are just the bottoms of the cards. You guys are the only ones that I'm kind of laying it out for so far, but... And then we have Archangel Zadkiel with Transmutation, Mercy, and the Violet Flame, okay? This is literally transmuting energy, right? So I think it's very interesting because we talked about that romantic love. We have the star, but you guys also have the Milky Way here, okay? This is like literally infinite stars, infinite potential. Like, you guys come from there, okay? Like from the stars. So it's, and look, this deer is literally on top of a mountain, standing out. This white deer just kind of out there, standing out, okay? The Devil card is talking about the insecurity that we were talking about, those dark attributes of Aries and Aquarius, that kind of pressure, like that Nine of Swords, that pressure, right? Kind of like, why is this happening to me? Blah, 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 blah. Or kind of like feeling overwhelmed. It's the overwhelm of like, can I actually handle this? Like, I don't know. It's taking me a while to adjust. I don't know if I can actually get used to this. And it's like, you are going to get used to it, you know? You also have the Strength card, which is God saying, like, we're here for you. We're supporting you. We're encouraging you guys to take a break for a day if you get too overwhelmed. That's okay. And then you get back on track. We don't give you anything that you can't handle. Okay? That's what they're going about telling you guys. Then with the Lovers, the Two of Cups, the romantic love, the transmutation. The transmutation is what has happened to you guys, okay? You guys are in a completely different place in your life. Oh, and underneath that, we've got Goddess Gaia, Mother Nature, the provider, the elements, okay? So this is literally, how beautiful are these cards, man? They're so pretty. But this is literally what we were just talking about, right? Like people, like the Cancer energy, that provider, that nurture, Mother Nature, like literally there. And also the bottom of this deck I wanted to show you guys is your heart is pure. This is so kind and so sweet. This is so sweet. Because it's true. You guys do have a very pure heart. Yeah, you guys do have a very pure heart. And I feel called to read this one to you guys too. No need to push. Instead, trust. Okay? So, yeah. It's a bit of a journey, but you guys are doing good. And people can sense this power within you. Okay? And as far as the Lovers and the Two of Cups and the romantic love, this is also something that after I heard while I was shuffling, you guys are ready for love. Like romantic love came out and I saw the Two of Cups and the Lovers and I was like, oh, of course it did. Of course, that's so cute. Oh, my nose. Oh my, the tingling in my throat after I saw this throat chakra card. So I feel like one of the key things that they're saying is you guys have gained better communication skills. You guys have gained better... like you guys talk, okay? If something doesn't feel right, you guys speak up now. Even if it's not maybe all the time, you guys have gotten better at it. You say something. This is the reason why you've got to trust yourself and know that you actually are ready. You guys are good. You're ready, okay? You guys can handle love. You can handle a partnership. You can handle a connection. You can handle a leadership position, okay? You guys have brought yourselves more into balance than you think you have. Oh my goodness, and I have this song kind of stuck in my head, but I'm not sure where it's from. It's like a Bollywood song for sure, but it's not the very like upbeat, it's like one of the love songs. So... Gosh, wow, it's so bugging me because the whole time while I was kind of, anytime I brought up the love stuff for you guys, oh my God, my shoulder. Wow, you guys are so powerful. And whoever is coming through for you guys is also very powerful. I just got, I don't think I've ever experienced that in my shoulder before, but in my left shoulder, I got like the pins and needles kind of sensation for a second when I brought up the love stuff. Like, yeah, I'm getting it again. It's like anytime I say love, and I was saying something about like this song, anytime I was talking about this song, it kind of made me think of, when I mentioned love, this song came up and my left shoulder started getting like really pinned and like prickly, you know? That is so weird. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so weird. Okay, gotta shake it off. No offense, but like shake it off. Also, the whole time I kind of noticed I've been looking at a spot on my bed because it kind of looks like there's somebody sitting there. I don't know why, you know? But it kind of looks like somebody is like as if somebody were gonna sit there or something, or sitting there. It's just a shadow, but that's how it kind of looks. And it doesn't seem like dark or anything. It just kind of seems like, you know, it could be like a partner or something. So they're giving me, oh my goodness, and the shoulder again. What is going on? Okay, whoever is coming through for you guys, whenever they come through, my goodness, do they have a strong, yeah, I just feel it on my whole left side. Ah, okay, can you show me less? Thank you. But you guys, I think, okay, I know why they're coming through so strongly when I was mentioning that Bollywood song, because I kind of have an idea of where I think it could be. I could be wrong, okay? But I do think it could be, because this is what I'm seeing in my head. There's this newer movie. it's like Bollywood meets Marvel, okay? And what is it? It was like the Brahmastra? I don't remember what it's called. It's like Brahmistra, I don't know, okay? Some kind, like literally it's just Bollywood meets Marvel, like really. But I kind of like it more because, I don't know, I kind of like it more. And Brahmistra, maybe it was the Brahmastra, whatever it is, okay. And the first movie, it's going to be a trilogy, I believe. The first movie is called Shiva. And so in the movie, this character, Shiva, right? He ends up meeting this girl. I forgot her name already. It's like, what is it? I forgot her. Oh gosh, what was her name? Okay, I'm sorry guys. I have to look it up. Give me 1 second. Not just her name, but the name of this movie. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Brahmastra. Okay, let's see. Brahmastra. Okay, it's Brahmastra, Shiva, and let's see. Isha, which by the way is such a pretty name. Okay, so it's Shiva and then Isha, right? And Isha reveals in the movie they have this very strong connection. Like Shiva sees her and instantly it's like he gets captivated by her. And even though like there's weird quirky things that go on between each other, it's like there's just this instant trust. Like it just kind of goes. It's easy. It's not like the only thing that she asks of him is that he doesn't lie to her, but she accepts any kind of crazy or weird thing that he says to her. She doesn't even question it, you know. And then later she reveals in the movie, she's like, do you know what the name Isha means or whatever? Isha, whatever her name was. And he said no, and she said it's a variation or something of Parvati. And Shiva was married to Parvati, like she was one of his wives, I guess, an incarnation or whatever, right? So, but I think most people kind of know I think that one is more talked about than like him being married to like, I don't know, somebody else. Because Kali, I guess, also was a wife. Because all of them are reincarnations of the same being, which is Shakti, but she has another name. I just don't remember it at the moment. And then after that, she was reincarnated as Parvati. So, but yes, long story short, I think the connection that you guys have is kind of like that. It's like in the movie, yeah, I'm hearing that melody again. In the movie, it's kind of like she's saying, I will go where you go. You know, Shiva is nothing without his wife, I think she said. And so they just kind of go together, and there's this beautiful pure love between them. Like it's like they never expected to come into each other's lives, but when they came into each other's lives, it's kind of like, I can't imagine my life without you, kind of a thing. That's kind of cute. That's very sweet. So yeah, so I guess that's the kind of love that you guys can look forward to. That's nice. Yeah, okay, so that aside, okay, let's get into the rest of your cards. Sorry guys, that came out a little different. Okay, so you have the number 8 with alchemy, which I think is kind of funny because we had transmutation here, right? So alchemy. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. Oh God, you guys, I know this is kind of off topic because we just started going into the rest of the reading, but I think I remember where that song is from, and it is not from that movie. It's not from that movie. Oh gosh, it is a Bollywood song, but it's not from that movie. But the only reason that they gave me the name of this song, or not the name of the song, but the only reason that they gave me what this song is after, basically, The concept about what I mentioned about this movie is the same, okay? Because they would not give me an idea of where the song is from until after I gave you all of that stuff about that movie, okay? And even the sensation kind of calmed down a little bit after I talked about it. So everything about that movie is accurate, what I said, okay? But the name of the song, if you guys are curious, if you guys want to look up the translation, it's actually a very beautiful song. Give me 1 second, because now they told me where it's actually from. So 1 second. It is... Okay. I don't know how to say this. Okay. Oh my gosh. Let me just click on it. I will show you on the screen. Okay. You guys can type it yourselves. But this is it. Okay. It's like home ko homies choralo. I don't know. Whatever. I didn't say it. You didn't hear it from me. Okay. This is literally, that's the movie. Okay. And that's the song. So it's a very beautiful song. It's very sweet. It kind of talks about that similar kind of love, the song. It kind of makes me think of that. So yeah. So I think that's why they had, I watched that movie, but I don't remember too much about it. I think there's not as much emphasis on the actual connection in the movie, which is why they showed me this other movie, which is like exactly the kind of connection they're talking about, that deep thing. But that song also is kind of very sweet. Okay, anyway, back to your reading. So we have number 22 with St. Francis, animal communication, activism, and service. Number 27 with Guru Ram Das. It's so funny that you guys have got this, right? Because we were talking about, like, so you've got a guru and we were talking about Bollywood, so I think it's kind of funny. Okay, so you have humility, spiritual practice, and elevation, okay? You are your greatest gift. Your life journey is your masterpiece, okay? Be, feel, receive abundance. All that you desire is achievable. Okay, and then we have, oh my, that just kind of fell. We have Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, with clear away the noise. Let's look at the one that fell out first. We've got Horologium with time. Time is but an illusion, my friends. And I think that's one of the points they're trying to get across to you guys, right? Like we were talking about, you guys would have been there on your own, but you would have taken like 3 years to make sure you got every step correct. You didn't miss a spot. You got every detail, and they're kind of like, go for it. Like, we've got the rest, right? Like, don't do the 3-year thing. Just go for it now. Then we have Dorado with enlighten. Centaurus with knowledge. I mean, look at that. Enlighten, knowledge. Okay, it's time for you guys to kind of step into your power. I mean, look, there's like hints of green, and there's the orange, which kind of matches in the green here. But there's like hues of green coming through here, right? So it's kind of Zahat. We have the 4th house and the North Node, okay? North Node is your life mission, your life purpose, your life goal. And the 4th house, again, it is so interesting because the 4th house is home. And it's making me think of that light version of Cancer, right? That nurturer. So it's kind of like you guys are meant to take on this like nurturing role for whoever your audience is meant to be. Like, that's why people keep turning to you, right? That's why you've got Apollo earlier, that spotlight, okay? It's because you guys are taking on that nurturing role. It's like on some level, you guys are like the mother or father kind of figure for the world. It's coming through with a little bit more feminine energy on certain aspects, okay? With the way that you guys nurture. But again, this really can be for any gender. It's not even like, you don't even have to be more feminine. It didn't feel like you guys were hyper feminine, you know, even though feminine energy was coming through strongly, it was describing it as nurturing. So I just kind of feel like regardless of gender, take what applies, okay? Because yes. And again, with this, like with the Guru Ram Das, I feel like you guys, and clear away the noise. This is, remember when we mentioned like taking a day to kind of calm yourself and be like, okay, I can do this. I am empowered, all of this stuff, right? like that Queen of Pentacles we were talking about. That's kind of what this is coming through as. It's like, if you start to get a little overwhelmed or overexcited or feels like a little bit too much or something, you're just like, I don't get it. Why is it all happening? Why me? Blah, blah, blah. And look, you've got 27, then 28, which I think is funny. But right, so if you start getting that, take that time, kind of calm down, come back into center, right? Things are happening for you. You are your greatest gift, right? Like things are happening for you guys. I don't even, like alchemy, like things, like literally it's like God is removing obstacles. Okay, like I just heard Ganesh, right? So God is removing obstacles. Ganesha, or you know, he's the I honestly, I don't know when. It's kind of like Shiva, right? Some people say Shiva, Shivaya, and then there's Ganesha, Ganesh, all of this stuff. So I don't know if like one form is you say it when you're singing it in like a mantra. So there's like a form that's like when you sing it, you say it one way, but then the actual name is different, or if it's regional, I don't know. If somebody knows, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments if you could let me know. But the fact that you guys have this like Guru Ramdas, I feel like it's an indication that you guys are ready. It is the sign. You guys are ready. Okay, you guys have gotten to this point, this humility, right? You guys had to feel like kind of not ready or not good enough in that moment and all this stuff because it gives you humility. Now, I'm not saying stay feeling that way. It's like you had to, it's kind of like if you didn't go through whatever it is that made you guys feel that way in the beginning, if you just started out with this enlightenment and all this stuff, people would kind of idolize you and it would go to your head. It would be that shadow aspect of Leo that we talked about was underneath the light aspect, right? Like self-conceited. Too high, like a self-importance that only boosts the ego, not in like a I know divinely kind of a way. Okay, so you needed that humbling experience, but now you guys can let go of that kind of a mindset slowly, you know, kind of start letting it go because this is who you guys were always meant to be. It's time. Yeah, it's time. You guys have the knowledge. You are enlightened. Like, look, elevation, enlightened, spiritual practice. It's just kind of all coming to service, okay? Service, activism. It's kind of all coming together. So it's part of your life's journey, okay? You guys are on the right path, basically. Yeah, that's kind of all I'm getting for you guys. Your reading felt a little bit more all over the place. I think I feel like I kept track of sort of the theme of this reading, but it kind of took a life of its own. Okay, so yeah, that was your reading group 3. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. I'd also love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. I've got a few questions for you. First of all, does anybody know about like the whole name situation with like the whole Ganesh or Ganesha or Shiv, Shiva or Shivaya? You know, what's the kind of difference there? And have you guys ever seen the movie, and did you end up looking up that song, which is so beautiful? The Brahmastra movie, not the movie that the song is from. If you guys looked up the song, I'd love to know what you guys feel, you know? Have you guys been psychically feeling somebody around you, like some kind of a potential or kind of a, I don't know. I don't know. I would love to hear from you guys. I kind of feel like, you know, as if you guys are friends giving me a life update. So I'm wondering if a couple of my friends even chose this group. But I do feel like you guys, we could be friends, and I would love to get your little life update, okay? And I hope you guys are good in regards to like feeling proud of yourself for how far you guys have come. You guys are ready, okay? But yeah, also, if you guys are new to the channel, or if you are returning viewers but you just so happen to not be subscribed, I would appreciate if you guys did subscribe to the channel. Just a suggestion, you know, you guys don't actually have to do it, but I would appreciate if you did it because it does support the channel. You know, and it's nice to see you guys on there. You know, there's so many of you now, and we're getting kind of close to a certain number that I'm excited about seeing. So it would be nice to kind of get you guys on board, and you'd also be notified anytime I post a new reading too. I'm also thinking of doing a love reading kind of soon, so maybe you guys are definitely gonna have a group there since this person came through so strongly. I'm gonna be like on the lookout to see like if there's a letter that comes through for them or whatever, because no promises, okay? Because those do take a lot of time, not just to film, but like getting the channeled letters and the way that I get them and whatever. But I may do like a third channeled love letter kind of a dealio. We'll see. We'll see, okay? But yeah, so if you guys want to know when that is happening, you guys could subscribe and, you know, get updated. Also, if you guys are interested in a personal private reading, a custom crystal bracelet, or a custom affirmation song, you guys can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email, all in the description box below. And I am working on being more active on Instagram. So if you would like to chat with me there, kind of connect over there, feel free to follow me. It is NutAeum, that is the handle. It should also be in the description box below, I think. And yeah, I think that's it for today, you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light. And you guys are going to do great, okay? You guys are ready. You're going to do great. And I'm really incredibly proud of you. And I'm excited to see how far you guys go and the things that are going to come, that are yet to come for you guys, okay? So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, Group 3. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Hey, Group 4. Welcome to your reading. This is your group if you chose the Onyx. And you guys, okay. Let me ring the singing bowl for you. I don't know what it is about my recent Group 4 groups, okay? But y'all are just trying to break kind of like the laws or the rules, okay? Because this reading is supposed to be why is blank happening and why is Group 4 feeling the way that they're feeling, okay? Y'all went ahead and got a second reading within your reading, okay? This is how thick, like, I don't know if you can tell how thick your stack is, okay? You guys got so many extra cards. You guys literally have an extra, I mean, I don't know if you can see how chunky, like, I don't think it's picking up on camera how thick this group's cards are. Hold on. I have an idea. Okay. Get them all in there and then flip. Look at that. Look at this stack. Okay. But yeah, you guys have a lot going on. Okay. There's even a point where one of the oracle cards, like I saw the bottom of the deck, one of the cards. Okay. And it like really stuck out to me. And like, before I put the cards down, I was like, I literally went, oh, this is so cute. Like, this is so sweet. Like, I literally made it, like, audibly, you know, got that out because it just, something about it touched me. And I put down the cards. And, like, that card, BT Dubs, made me want to cry. But, like, I put it down for a second. Like, it felt so profound. And then I put down the cards in their box. And that card, you guys, stood up on its own, okay? Like what I'm talking about stood up, okay? I put down the cards like this, okay? That card, after I put them down like this, went like this. I can't even get it to stand now, but it went like this, okay? Like this, okay? I was like, oh my goodness, okay, I'll take this card. And I picked it up and I looked at it again, and just something about it. You guys, I cried while I was shuffling your cards because something about it just felt so profound. It just like felt like such a message from God for you guys and just in general. And I think there's going to be a little bit of a topic coming through of surrender possibly, but you guys have an extra reading within your reading, just so you know. So I don't know how I'm going to lay it out. If I end up doing it separately, I'll let you guys know. And for those of you guys who want to stick around for it, you can. For those who don't, you don't have to. Okay, but let's get into your cards. So let's start with what it says on the back of your card. And it says Onyx, autonomy, self-discipline, command. Tune in to your commander, your inner commander. Onyx is a strong ally dispelling loneliness and self-doubt and instilling greater confidence in your decision making. Face your fears and know that you have the power to overcome them. Onyx's surface represents the passing of time, the balance of the yin and the yang. It is a sturdy and solitary stone and encourages you to break free from any unhealthy relationships in order to be autonomous. Know that you are completely capable of making the right decision for yourself. After all, it's your life. Sagittarius, Saturn. Okay, you guys. Funnily enough, my Saturn is not in Sagittarius, but I don't know why I was going to say, but we've got Jupiter here. So Sagittarius, right? Okay. Let's reveal your cards. Remember, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I kind of lost track of everything. Guys, it's kind of late. I kind of lost track of oh my gosh, I just can't get over how hefty. Ooh, and I just saw 33. Can you see it? And 22 peeking through. Oh my, master numbers. Okay. But before we get into your cards, something that kind of stood out about you guys when I saw those cards. By the way, I'll tell you what the card is. I was going to reveal it after I showed it to you, but I'll just tell you it was love over fear. And I think it went so good with this Onyx card, right? There was something else that was talking about kind of overcoming it. And there's just something so I don't know what it was about that card that kind of got me. It just kind of felt like an aha moment, you know? It's like, if you feel afraid, just give love to it, you know? Maybe some of you guys could benefit from listening to the song that I channeled through. I put a little snippet of it in the beginning of like somewhere in the intro of this video, okay? But I do have a link to the full song, and that song was channeled from God. It was like a message that I was kind of like in the middle of receiving it. I actually did cry while receiving it, and I was like, I'm so sorry, can you give me a second? Can I write this down and turn it into a song? I think the whole point was that it was meant to be a song the whole time, but yeah, so that's kind of the story of that song. And when I saw that message, love over fear, it gave that sensation of that song. It's kind of like a sigh of relief, kind of. Like if you were in fear for a long time, or scarcity or worry or doubt or something like that, insecurity or like overwhelm, it's just kind of like God saying, you can surrender now. Only love is real. Come here. You know, I got you. And so maybe some of you guys could listen to that song, and I think it could be good for you guys, or maybe it can speak to you in a way, or maybe give some kind of comfort. Okay, now your cards. We've got the 5 of Wands. Oh man, I don't know how I'm going to get all these cards. So let me see how far out I can get the cards. Okay. We've got the 10 of Wands. I'm gonna have to get them real close to each other. So many wands. The 3 of Wands. Okay. Then we have the 6 of Cups. The 4 of Swords. Okay. The Queen of Cups. Awaken. Okay, you guys, I don't understand. Y'all, okay, literally in the last 3 groups, this card has come out. In this deck, this is a limited edition deck, okay, and it comes with a certificate that is signed by the creator of the deck. And I didn't realize that I left it in the cards when I was shuffling, and it came out for group 2 and group 3, and now it's coming out for you guys. And I shuffle and I pull a card at random sometimes if I don't feel like cards are coming out, and I just so happen to keep pulling this card out. And I'm like, why? Like, I mean, for every group it made sense, but it's kind of incredible that it got left in by accident, and now it has made an occurrence, or like appearance, a cameo, if you will, for almost all of the readings. So I think it's kind of funny. Then we have the Magician. Oh, that's cute, because we also have, hold on. We also have the Magician on the bottom of the deck here. Also, something I wanted to let you guys know, in a couple of these decks, the High Priestess kind of showed itself and it wanted to come out, but it didn't at the same time. And then, lo and behold, you have the High Priestess at the bottom of this deck. Look how gorgeous this High Priestess card is. I really love it. I think it's incredibly beautiful. And I gotta say, it's one of these beautiful cards that I like to look at. Okay, I'm really excited about this deck. Okay, then we've got the Guardian of Pentacles, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles. Then we've got Justice. Speaking of yin yang, right? There it is, right there. Or is it yin yang? I don't know, whatever. Okay. We've got it right there in Justice. Okay. Next we have, what has come through? Okay, next we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Pentacles. Okay, oh, can you see that? Yeah, okay, cool. Then we've got the Guardian of Swords, which is the Queen of Swords. The Nine of Cups, which peek through in one of the decks too. So it's nice that it came out. The Seven of Wands. Okay. The Hierophant. Oh. Yeah, okay. The Hierophant. The Four of Cups. You guys got a whole reading just in this deck alone, like for realsies. Then you have the Two of Cups. And then we're going to save the other ones kind of to the side. Hold on. Yeah, we're going to set these guys to the side. We'll come back to them. Then we have the light attributes of Gemini. And the shadow attributes of Pisces, which I think is kind of interesting because both of these guys are dual signs. Except this is air and this is water. Interesting. Oh, and these we're going to reveal afterwards. Okay. Alrighty, let's get into it. Give me a moment, you guys, to kind of see because it's a bit different for you guys. But if you hear me repeating the prompt of this reading, it's only because I'm trying to remind myself what it is, okay, guys? So, oh, my neck. Okay. Why is this happening in Group 4's life? Why are they feeling the way that they're feeling? Okay, got it. Let's see. Okay, Group 4. Kind of feels like you guys are currently going through a test, okay? And I'm hearing the word endurance, and I think this is kind of why that God song came through and the whole concept of love over fear brought tears to my eyes. I feel like you guys are going through a test, and I know what some of you guys may be thinking. A test again? When is it going to be over? And it's like you guys are so close. You guys are getting really close to the end of this test, okay, to the finish line. You've got a little bit more to go, okay, but you are much closer than I think you guys can fully comprehend. All right, and unfortunately, it's just gotta happen. That's the reason why it's happening, okay? It's just gotta happen. This is part of your healing. It's a test, right? When we go through a divine test, I mean, look, you even have the words awaken here, the magician. It's you guys coming to your power, but it's like you guys don't have anything to prove to anyone, but you guys have something to prove to yourselves. And I think it's the fact that you guys can take care of yourselves and you can trust yourself to see who is good for you and who is not. What kind of people are good to keep around you and what people are not. You know, I think you guys are going through a bit of a trial error. I mean, I meant error, like period, but I said error. A trial error. Okay, interesting. It's kind of like a false start. You know, I think you guys kind of jumped the gun on something. Like you guys are getting a sign that something is coming close. And you took that as a sign as if it's already here. And so you kind of tried to do something a little too early, which is why now that you're kind of placed back to where you actually are, it feels a little harder because you're like, oh, but I was so close. And it's like, you guys didn't miss out on anything. You weren't so close, you know? When it's your time, it's going to be your time. You didn't fail or make a mistake. I mean, there was a little bit of an error, right? Because you guys kind of misread the sign a little bit. The sign was just giving you a heads up that something is going to be happening, that this thing is going to be happening. It wasn't telling you go for it now, or like now's the time, okay? It's kind of like if you're getting a sign that you're going to be leaving the place that you're working, right? You're like, okay, I'm getting a sign that I'm actually going to be getting a job somewhere else. I'm excited. I'm going to get to quit soon. Like you get this sign like, okay, it may be time to quit. It may be time to quit. But it's like the universe is trying to prep you guys like 3 to 4 months in advance, 6 months in advance to kind of get you ready and warmed up to the idea. But you're there like, oh, I've been waiting to quit for years now. Yes. And then you just quit, you know, and it's kind of like you jumped the gun a little too quick. It wasn't time yet. We were trying to get you ready for the concept, the idea, but you guys kind of took it as a sign like, oh, it must be it. So I feel like for you guys, there is a message of calming down, kind of like slowing down a little bit, right? You guys have a lot of aspects of duality here, with the 2 of Cups being light and dark, with the Gemini being dual sign, with the Pisces being a dual sign. You guys have Justice with the dark and the light coming through. So I think that's also very fascinating. Okay. Give me a second. Yeah, it just kind of feels like you guys are trying to go a little too quick. Like you guys are trying to, like things don't seem to be working out, or things keep seeming to fail or have some kind of an obstacle because you guys are knocking on a door that you're supposed to be knocking in like 3 months, but you're doing it now because you guys are kind of like, I don't know. Did this include patience? Because self-discipline. Yeah. Okay. Command. Okay. It's kind of like, we get that you're excited, you want to be getting to doing this, but it's kind of like hold your horses, you know, hold back a little bit. Don't go just on the whim. Okay. Some people are being told to go based on spontaneity and all of this stuff. For you guys, it's like, yes, that's good that you guys have this aspect, but we're actually asking you to kind of contain yourself a little bit, you know. Don't get worked up or overwhelmed and make a decision that you guys are going to regret, okay? Let me see what else I'm getting here, guys. It kind of feels like there's a little bit of a hint of advice here. If you guys are going to feel as though you want to take action, right? Instead of taking action right away, take a day to do some self-care. Maybe a day of silence, a day when you kind of can just focus on the things you've got to do for you, nurturing yourself. Maybe do a body scrub, or like a face mask, or like soak your feet, some kind, or if you have a bathtub, the luxury of like a real bathtub, you know, do a soak, some kind of like a reconnecting to you, recentering back to your body, because all of these other aspects are talking about kind of extremes. So you want something a little bit more centering, extremes between emotion and the mind. So there needs, like, grounding is needed to help you kind of make a more I don't know, just like a better, more stable kind of a decision, okay? Let me see what else I'm getting. I feel like you guys have talked about your plans or things that you would like to accomplish or achieve before with a lot of people. Like you guys would just overshare with everyone, and it turned out that things didn't end up working out too. So it kind of feels like, for whatever reason, this is a little bit of an aspect and what you guys are, the reason why you guys are currently feeling the way that you're feeling too. It's kind of like you're trying to be self-protective, but it's kind of like there is a sense of being a little bit torn. between this other aspect that I talked about and then also trying to be self-protective and talking, and it's like creating boundaries, maybe being a little too cold and too rash. You know, a little too cold and too rash in the way that you're doing. Like you're in your mind, it's being too critical, or like critical. It's analytical, but it feels kind of critical. Okay. And so you guys are ready to like cut out anybody or anything that doesn't serve, like right away. And it's like, God is saying that's a good thing. But like for you guys, we want you to take your time when you do those kinds of things. Okay. We want you to think about it. Think about the practical aspect of it, not just kind of like this doesn't serve me and cutting it out. Okay. Yeah, because again, I'm kind of getting the sensation of like feeling like things are okay, things are good, but then also things aren't exactly working out the way that you thought they would. Like almost like if you guys are starting a business, right? Or, okay, you're starting a YouTube channel, right? And you're like, okay, I'm going to put out a video and I'm probably going to get monetized right away, you know? I think there's kind of a little bit of a, sorry, it's just for lack of a better term in the moment, okay? But it's kind of like a little bit of a diluted perspective, right? Where it's kind of like, well, I'm going to put out a video and I'm going to get monetized right away. Or like, I'm going to get a couple of hundred subscribers, you know? It's going to be easy. But it's like, again, God's like, whoa, hold your horses. You think just one video is going to get you like 1,000 subscribers? Does that kind of stuff happen? Yes. But you're not exactly at that place yet. You're not putting out the kind of content that needs that kind of an audience just yet, you know? It's going to take a bit of practice, a bit of putting a couple of things out. And then, so it's kind of like you guys are getting ahead of yourself, you know? It's like the expectation was to get something right away, and it's not taking that time, and that's kind of like it's not happening in your time, and it's kind of frustrating. Okay. But again, there's this aspect of balance. Okay, you guys, this aspect of balance. And I guess we're going to get these cards out the way now because we've got an extra little bit of a reading for you guys. So I think it's interesting that we're talking about balance here because all this stuff with, and don't look for somebody else to come into your life, you guys, to help you balance, okay? It's about you guys finding that balance within yourself, okay? Nobody else can bring this to you. Nobody else can do this for you. Nobody else can contribute to your life in this way. You guys have got to get that balance within yourself first before you can let somebody come into your life and help you with these things, okay? And don't listen to this with an ego, okay? Don't listen to this with like, okay, Milka, this is a general reading, so I understand why you're saying this. This could be for, you know, all of the people who haven't done the kind of things that I've done. I've done a lot of work, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And it's like, yes, you have done work and that's good. But I do feel like there's a little bit of a resistance kind of that comes up when you guys don't hear the things that you like, or when things don't go exactly the way you're expecting or hoping for them to do. And it's like, this is the part of the surrender that we were talking about, right? Kind of like you make it harder for yourself by trying to go about doing it with like your way, okay? And I know that you guys are guided, because you are, but even when, again, we're talking about the surrender that we mentioned earlier, right? Even when God was coming through, right, and saying these things, and it's like you guys took things into your own hand and kind of made it your own, you know? It's like, let it unfold naturally. Don't try to control it or have it happen the way that you think is good for you or best for you. Because sometimes we don't exactly know what is best for us. Sometimes we just think we know, because we can only come up with a situation or a reality that our mind can compose based off of past experiences or what we've heard from other people. You know, it's kind of like, if they're like, how can you imagine a color that doesn't exist? You know, or you know how, sorry guys, you know how there's like a spectrum of colors that human eyes can see, right? How can you even begin to imagine a color that you can't see, that your eye cannot register, right? Your 3D eye cannot register. How can you even fathom what this color looks like, right? It's like you can try to imagine a new color into existence that the human eye can't see, but any kind of color that comes to your mind are all going to be colors that the human eye can see, because it's coming to your mind. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that, okay? You guys may think that like you're trying to speed up the process or getting the thing that you want or doing it in the way that you guys want, but there's another easier way in the path of least resistance. And I think if you guys kind of surrendered a little bit more after you guys go through, I feel like this test is kind of part of that, to be honest with you. Then you guys can start seeing the result that you're looking for and something even better, right? Okay, give me a second. I need to drink some water. Okay. Oh, wow. That water felt so refreshing. That felt so good. Maybe you guys need some water. I don't know why that water just tasted so good. It's the same water I've been drinking throughout the reading. Okay. Now this is the part that we're going to talk about some kind of romantic things and whatever else comes through, okay? Because I don't know what the other cards are. But I just want you guys to know love is not going to come through as part of this test, okay? So for whatever reason, this is maybe to give you guys some kind of hope or whatever it may be, like to give you guys an update or some kind of an insight, or maybe you guys wanted some answers about love. But while you're going through what you're going through, that's going to lead to love. But first, it's going to lead to you guys kind of letting go of the wheel, okay? You guys are not going to be the ones, like you can call in your love, okay? And that's great. Calling in is good. But ultimately, it's up to God and your higher self when those things come through. Right? Those kinds of relationships and connections. So again, there's this concept of surrender, let go and let God, okay? And just kind of let things unfold naturally. Don't take action right away. Don't try to control or speed up the process, okay, you guys? Because things are going to unfold however long it takes, and you guys trying to speed up the process and getting disappointed because the result is not exactly how you anticipated, it's kind of like you guys setting yourself up for that disappointment because you're trying to rush something that isn't ready yet, okay? All right, so we've got number 33 with miracle. It says, the frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves as part of source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. Okay, now with miracle, this does kind of feel like, I'm going to set it to the side also because we do have a bunch of cards here. So with miracle, it does kind of feel like once you guys surrender, you're going to open up the path to miracles because things are going to flow into your life in the time that they're supposed to. But it's kind of like if you focus on something too much, it's not going to come through, right? Because you're putting too much pressure and energy around that. And so it's going to delay it or take some more time or cause congestion, okay? Then we have 39 with romantic love. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover, okay? Then we've got Archangel Raziel with mysteries, secrets, and what does it say? Sorry. What? Oh my goodness, what does this say? Sorry guys, 1 second. Oh, protected. I'm like, is this supposed to be restricted? But it doesn't look like restricted. It's not the right, because I thought this P and R together were coming into an actual like uppercase R. So it's protected knowledge. Sorry guys, that took a moment. And it's so funny because this card did flip open, you know, so I did see this card, and I think it's funny because we were talking about surrender and like you guys can't control it, right? And obviously if you're not controlling, that means you don't know when something is going to happen or when it's going to come through. So the way that this kind of a connection is going to come into your life is going to be a secret. It's going to be a mystery. And I just think it's kind of funny because this is literally all about trust, right? It's about surrender takes trust. It's you saying, I trust you, God, to take care of the situation. Oh, I just smelled like a bonfire. Oh, that's so good. It smells so good. Bonfire, you know, it's like you can think of memories of like being in the moment, enjoying the moment. It kind of makes me think of camping, right? And so it's like being in the moment, being present, and just enjoying the situation for what it is now, not trying to create it and not trying to create it in its potential, right? Don't try to make things go to their fullest potential, right? It's not about creating things so that they're perfect. It's just about enjoying how you get there, the process of creating, and creating just because you enjoy the process of creating, okay? So that was just an analogy. All right, you guys. Then we've got number 32 with Goddess Isis, with resurrection, magic, and fertility. Okay. Then we've got 28, Goddess Lakshmi, with prosperity, beauty, and fortune. Number 6 with Archangel Ariel, environment, abundance, guardian of the earth. Yeah, you guys got a lot of cards. Then we have Commander Ashtar with star seeds, space travel, and galactic guides. Look how cool. This is fun. Okay, that was number 26, BT dubs. Okay, then we've got the number 22 with time to do it differently. Oh God, sorry guys, 1 second. Oh my goodness. It felt like something flew in my throat, but at the same time, that cough was painful, and it just felt like it was right from my chest. Oh gosh, maybe some of you guys could go for a lung detox. Maybe you guys have more sensitive physical bodies, and maybe you guys put them under pressure a little bit too frequently through stress and stuff like that. Like you guys get, your physical body takes a toll when you guys are in a stressful environment, you know, and I think you guys don't realize how much you guys end up carrying. So I think maybe a little bit of a cleanser, detox could be good for you and for the lungs too, if you do something that's lung based. And and quite possibly, if some of you guys smoke, maybe it could be time to try to put that habit possibly on a pause, you know, okay? I'm not trying to change you or anything. I'm just saying, because we were talking about lung kind of a detox. Okay, then we got number 30 with walk your own journey. It is essential to stay on your own path, okay? Oh, this is the card that I mentioned, you guys. Number 18, shine love on fear. Love will light up the darkness, okay? If things ever get overwhelmed, sorry about the dog, guys, but if things ever get overwhelming or too much, just know that love will light up the darkness, okay? I think it kind of speaks for itself. It's such a beautiful message, okay? I'm gonna move these cards a bit like this. Oh, that's funny how they ended up next to each other. They've got the same color background, and you know, they're kind of like opposites, because this person is a little bit more, I don't know, not grunge looking, but more casual dressed, and she's dressed fancy. Their complexion and hair is completely different. Though they both come from the stars, it's kind of a different vibe too. So I just think it's kind of funny, you know. I wonder why he's barking. Okay. Then we've got Michael, courageously be still. Oh my goodness, that goes exactly with what I was just literally saying, right? Because we were just talking about you guys not just now, but earlier we were talking about you guys trying to take on too much, taking action, trying to control the situation, trying to make things happen. And it's like, it's not about you guys making things happen, okay? It's about you guys surrendering and letting it happen, okay? So I think that's kind of interesting. Then we have Zadkiel, Archangel Zadkiel. So this is Archangel Michael, Archangel Zadkiel, with turn worry into curiosity. Yeah, I think you guys, you guys work yourselves up a little too much, okay? And, yeah, it's like you guys get stressed a little too frequently or a little too easily, and you work yourselves up too much. You guys take things too hard. You know, you guys take things on to yourself. And it's like, you don't have to, right? I think it's that control aspect, okay, that's trying to take things on. And it's like, well, you guys doing that is only making it harder for you. It's hurting your body, okay? So again, it's coming back to that surrender. Instead of trying to be like if somebody, for example, says, oh, I missed the garbage day, and now I have to wait like 4 days for the garbage truck to come get my garbage or whatever, and like you guys would be like, oh my goodness, you missed the garbage day, how could you do that? Next time you should be like, you know, it's as if you're taking it on too personally, as if it's actually happening to you or something along those lines. It's like, it's that person's life. If they want to miss a garbage day, let them miss a garbage day. If they have to wait 3 days, let them wait 3 days. Why are you guys getting worked up about it, you know? Why are you doing something with your health to get worked up about something as silly as this? Okay. Then we have imagine all the people living for today. Okay, I'm kidding, guys. Sorry. I was just having a silly moment. Then we have feminine. You create. You may say I'm a dreamer. Solar eclipse. Speaking of dreamer, we have Neptune, and we also have the 8th house. Okay. Hope someday you'll join us. And I love. Also, you know what, you guys taking on. Oh, my throat again. I don't know what this is. That's so weird. It feels as though something kind of flew in or something, but it's not. Oh gosh. I think it's about you guys having to sort of face the truth, okay? Coming to terms with what we were talking about. And with romantic love, I almost feel like this romantic love is actually talking about you guys giving yourself this love, okay? Because we just had a moment there. Oh, yes, remember it. Okay. Like I was saying, like as if you guys take on all this stress and all of this stuff onto your body, and you guys put all of this pressure and you guys try to make things happen. It's kind of like you guys are pushing yourself when you guys need rest, when you're tired, when it's not. Sorry, you guys. I need to drink more water. Maybe for a couple of you guys, there's resistance to hearing this because it keeps kind of like silencing me for the moment. But, right, it's kind of like push. And look, I'm not here to tell you guys what you want to hear, right? I'm here. Sorry, I don't mean to come across as mean or anything or rude, but really, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to give you guys the message that you're meant to hear. So it's not about only talking about the nice things, right? Because if we only talk about the nice things, then we're never going to talk. Then how are you going to get to those nice things, right? If we don't talk about the way that you get there, or the things that are going to lead to that. Okay, so this is one of those things that's going to lead to that, and that's going to be you guys giving yourself that love, because the other way, the way that you guys are living with the control and stuff, it's not considered self-care, not like that. Okay, it's too... Okay, so we have feminine here, right? So one of the traits of a toxic feminine energy, like when there's an imbalance between masculine and feminine energy, okay? One of those traits is actually control issues, right? Trying to control all situations and all of this stuff and take control. And it's just out of a sense of security, because the feminine within didn't feel supported and the masculine was weakened, and so the feminine took on a more dominating role, which is unhealthy for feminine energy. Feminine energy is not about control, okay? It's just about existing, just about the present, being. It's just about being, okay? In the moment. Feminine energy is in the moment. Masculine energy plans, okay? Even if you look at like when people talk about Kundalini energy, okay? And like the serpent energy, they usually say, even though technically it's supposed to go through all the chakras, I think, like things that I've come across when I was reading about it years ago was that it starts, the serpent is coiled at the sacral chakra. And that's where the Shakti energy is, that divine feminine, right? And the sacral chakra is where we hold our divine feminine energy. It's literally where the female womb is, okay? And, oh, I'm sorry, you guys. My throat I keep getting stuff with my throat. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry about that. But then we've got the Shakti, right? The divine counterpart of Shakti is Shiva. So Shiva, they say, like, it's like the serpent starts at the sacral chakra and then it goes to the third eye, okay? So that's where it meets Shiva. So the sacral chakra is creativity. It is literally gratitude, enjoying the moment, being present and enjoying the moment, okay? Being grateful for what you've currently got, and this kind of a self-love for your body and all this stuff. And then the third eye chakra, that is literally about sight, foresight, okay? Vision. Vision is going to be talking about seeing things clearly for what they are now, but vision is also the thing that, like, where you talk about the future, right? Where you make plans, okay? So Shiva is the masculine energy here and Shakti is the feminine. So you can see, like, the feminine energy is not about control. It's not about trying to create. It's not about trying to control what the future is going to look like or anything like that. It's just about being and enjoying being, okay? And then the masculine energy, I suppose that's why they say masculine energy in general, and again, I'm not talking about genders, I'm talking about energy. A masculine energy in general tends to be a little bit more driven, a little bit more leadership oriented, okay? Like a guide. So I think there is a little bit of an imbalance there, okay? So I think it's time for you guys to work a little bit on safety and security too. Like maybe you guys did work on it, but then maybe you put it on a pause or a break, and that's okay because life happens. But now it's time to get back to that a little bit, all right? To come back to being more secure, feeling safe, okay? Because you guys are powerful. You're powerful creators. You're just currently going through a test right now, and you do have a divine counterpart out there, okay? I feel like some of you guys are looking for twin flames, okay? Now, if this person is a twin flame or not, it's kind of hard to say because it's a general reading, okay? But it is a higher level connection, and you guys do have somebody out there, and the more you guys work on balancing yourselves, the more likely this person is going to come back balanced to you, because right now I feel like they currently have a little bit of an ego of their own, okay? So yes, let's see what we can get though, because we do have a couple extra cards. We've got the King of Cups. Oh, I forgot to show it to you, sorry. The King of Cups, okay? We have Temperance. Then we have the Queen of Wands and the Sun, you guys, okay? I thought this was kind of cool. I did see these cards ahead of time, okay? Not because I looked specifically, but it just kind of happened this way. But I thought it was interesting because you've got this literally, remember all of this was talking about yin yang kind of energy in the beginning of your reading. And we've got this here again. Okay, temperance is about that balance. But then look, next to the water, you've got the fire energy. Next to the fire, you've got the water energy. It's literally like in the symbol where you've got the dark has a little spot of the white and the white has a little spot of the dark. Sorry about the cough, you guys. I don't know where it's coming from. Actually, you know what? This is kind of a really, like, it's deeper cough, which is kind of weird because it just came out of nowhere. But it's bringing stuff up, like it's bringing up phlegm and stuff. So again, it's like talking about a detox and kind of like releasing old patterns, releasing old ways of being, you know? So I think now that you guys have heard it, you're going to be a little bit more conscious and more willing to kind of work through these kinds of things, okay? But yes, I do feel like you and whoever this person is going to be, you guys are divine counterparts. You guys are beautiful balance for each other. That does not mean do not work on balancing yourself though, okay? Because some people may like the idea of like, oh, I'm the feminine in the connection and I like being extra feminine and I'm glad this person's going to be extra masculine and it's going to be super nice. And it's like, instead of trying to get a connection like that, work on bringing balance to yourself, right? Getting that feminine, masculine energy balance, because we talked about that feminine healing you guys have got coming through, right? And then this way, this person is going to come through with their healing too, right? Because if you have somebody that's overly masculine or overly feminine, you're going to have similar issues, kind of like what we were talking about here. Overly feminine can be sometimes unhealthy feminine. And then it turns into a whole control thing, not trusting the partner or life, you know, and kind of like God and the universe and all that stuff. And then for the masculine energy, I mean, look, you've got Commander Ashtar, right? So Commander can become an issue too, because the masculine energy, if it's not balanced and it's unhealthy, and if it's too much, can become too dominant, too territorial, too controlling, right? Which is kind of similar to that unhealthy feminine, right? So like dominating, okay, possessive, so authoritarian, I think is the word. Yeah, it's about, and yeah, look at this on the bottom of the deck, we've got dynamic, okay? So it's talking about you guys both being dynamic. Yeah, I'm gonna read it to you. The frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. Exactly, okay? This is like talking about bringing that dynamic into your energy within yourself, into the connection with you and your future spouse or partner coming through, and then also in your life, okay, where we talked about both familiar and completely new, right? It's like this aspect of surrender is coming through too. And if you guys ever get overwhelmed or overworked, or it's just kind of like too much to deal with, too much going on, then remember that only love is real, okay? And if that's an annoying thing to hear or kind of a confusing thing, because you're like, how can I remember, like, how can that advice kind of help me? Like, what exactly does that even really mean? Okay. And what it means is, oh, by the way, remember, sorry, I'm going to get back to that thought, but remember we talked about Shiva and Shakti and the third eye and the sacral chakra. Well, this is blue, right? And even though the third eye is kind of like a deeper blue, this kind of in between, but still blue like the third eye, and then orange like the sacral chakra, and this is feminine and masculine. So this kind of worked out, you see. It's kind of funny. It goes along very well with what I was saying, like the example, I mean, that was used. But yes, so what I mean by only love is real, okay? Only love is real means if you start getting frustrated or fear, whatever, go into taking care of yourself instead. Okay? If you start getting angry and all this stuff, don't try to control your emotions, but catch yourself and be like, okay, group 4, where's this coming from? Is this coming from this, or this? Okay, well, that hurt is an experience that I had, yes, but who I am now is not that. Who I am now is an unconditionally loving being. And I choose to release this. So thank you for being a part of my life, and I let you go with love. You know, it's just keep bringing it back to this love, because I feel like light, honestly, is God's unconditional love. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at one of the cards. Okay. Okay, I just want to point out one final card. We've got number 34 with Thoth, wisdom, time, writing, Akashic records. Okay, so time is coming through as one of the stronger messages here for you guys. But yeah, I just I feel like you guys are going through some kind of a karmic cycle, okay? And yeah, even this is kind of talking about the karmic cycle, okay, that you guys are overcoming, and this control aspect and all of this stuff. And I think it has to do with experiencing narcissistic parents or a narcissistic kind of dynamic or relationship, and so you guys have turned into controlling, okay? Or like controlled for safety. Okay, you guys? But yeah, I know I just started cleaning up, but sorry guys. But yeah, I'll keep this one out. That was your reading, group 4. I know it was kind of a doozy. It went kind of all over the place. Also, I just wanted to point out onyx can also be good for healing sexual trauma too. Okay, it's a cooling stone. It helps to cool anger, and it's protective. I mean, obsidian is also good for that kind of stuff, like black stones in general. But I think black tourmaline could be good. It just feels like it could be too stimulating. I feel like onyx is more cooling for an area where fear, anger, and temper was being held, such as, you know, trauma and stuff like that. And then obsidian is also good for kind of letting that stuff go too. So for those, I don't know why I felt like I needed to share that, but for any of you guys that may have experienced something that you're still having a hard time releasing or letting go of or healing, just so you guys know, that could be something that you could work with. For the females, you can get like a yoni egg, right? If you guys are open to that, that is made out of onyx or obsidian. Okay, and that can be very healing for you guys too. It can help to kind of start clearing things out from within if you have experienced that kind of trauma, okay? I know that was a very specific message, so hopefully it doesn't apply to a lot of you guys, because I wouldn't hope for that to be the thing that comes through, you know? And I think this could also be one of the reasons where that control aspect is coming from security that we talked about, okay? So that you can know everything that's going on, it's all under your control, so that something like that can't happen again. But it's okay, like you're in a different place, okay? Yeah, but yes, okay, group 4, that was your reading. I know, again, it was a lot. It wasn't necessarily the most lighthearted kind of a session, but hopefully you guys still got what you needed to get from it, and hopefully it was said in a way that wasn't too harsh, that maybe it was a little easier for you to understand or get, so that you can kind of you know, hear it in a light way, which is what was intended, of course. And yeah, if you guys felt like this reading did resonate, I would appreciate if you guys left a comment in the description box below and let me know. You don't have to, of course, you know, it's your life, your choice, but if you'd like to have some kind of communication in the comments, we can do that. If you did enjoy the message, or if it did resonate also, only if you guys are up for it, if you can give the video a thumbs up, that would be really great, or subscribe to the channel if you're up to it again. That would really help support the channel, and you guys will get updates for whenever I've got new stuff coming through. I do plan on having a love reading coming either next week or the week after that, or something along those lines, okay? So you can be on the lookout for that too. And if you guys are interested in a more personal private reading or a custom crystal bracelet or a custom affirmation song, you guys can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email, which are all in the description box below. We can also connect on Instagram if you guys are interested. My handle is NutAeum. And it should be linked, I think, in the description box below as well. But yeah, that was your reading, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope this isn't too heavy, you know, that it's something that you guys could digest and wasn't too much. But yeah, okay. And yeah, I'm sending you guys lots of love, okay? And lots of light. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you guys next time. All right? Bye, Group 4.